Hey, we are here with Death unto Madness. Oh, one thing I didn't notice about this overlay is that it has the old logo colors. Uh, on
Wow,
I
that's a
had
big yikes.
oh, it honestly is because I had the colors inverted and so it doesn't pop as well. So I'll be fixing that as we read off beliefs and instincts. But we are here just with Alyssa and Carly for now. Josh will not be joining us tonight, but Chad will be shortly. He just hasn't quite arrived yet. So we're gonna jump into it. Do probably a scene with Maya, I'd assume, as we get started here, and then we can move on to other stuff. So, Alyssa, would you mind starting us off with your beliefs and instincts and whatnot?
You got it. I'll do whatever it takes to elevate my son to the place of prophet king. I will instill hope in my people. I will learn about the gods to fill in the missing pieces. I will learn more about Indu.
Mm-hmm.
My husband needs to stay safe. I will gain more followers for Hagiel. Instincts, I always put my family first no matter what. Never back down from a challenge. If I meet a fellow performer, I will give them my assistance. Traits: colorful, religious, ambitious, competitive, thick skin, mark of privilege, bastard, and glib.
Very fun. Uh, Carly, are you in a? Is Finn being very loud, or can you read off your stuff?
He is being loud, and I don't have the laptop in front of me.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I'll go ahead and read
Great.
that then.
I might have to adjust a few of them. I don't remember what they are.
Yeah. Let's work through. Okay, what do we got here? So, as written right now, you have, I believe that with the help of Citus, I can stop what's coming. I will work with him to find answers in the Irida. That's probably fine, depending on what we do today. I believe Caledon is meant to be my partner in life. I will assist him with his work in Nima. You are still kind of doing that. I believe a lady is not noble without a bird on her arm. I will find a new companion. So those things are all technically still happening, but you did get a prophetic dream last night about a certain enchanter that lives in the Brass League here, the Brass League headquarters. Hello, Finn. Um, that you're supposed to talk to that's like important and is like involved with something momentous in some way. You weren't sure exactly what. So you might want to change maybe the bird belief to her. Because I don't know if you're going to be focusing on befriending your bird right now this session. If that's fine with you. So let me put that in your kind of extra beliefs you're not working on. So what about although I suppose you could actually change.
Caleb, I'm so sorry. I'm having like a gallbladder emergency. I'll be
Oh,
right back.
okay, yeah.
Work on that. I'll be
Okay.
right back.
Yeah, sounds good. Um that your first belief here, I believe with the help of Citus, I can stop what is coming and will work with him to find answers in the Irida. That actually might be the one that you're changing for this time. Because though I suppose Citus helping isn't necessarily the operative thing here. I'm trying to think, what do you want to actually like work on this session? Like the probably the most pressing thing is like this person you saw in your prophetic dream. But what other stuff do you care about?
Um. So I don't. Am I forgetting, or did we not actually go into what the dream was?
Yeah, we had you had a prophetic dream last time. It was late in the session, so you might just not be remembering it. Basically, it was a you saw a woman in the Brass League headquarters, some sort of relic maker. She was working on like an amulet and had an owl on her shoulder, and you just knew that like her and what she's doing is momentous in some way. It's part of your prophet king sort of vision stuff. Um, so one of your beliefs should probably be about that. But it's kind of up to you which one you would like to like swap out or whatever.
Yeah. I I mean, I feel like it maybe could just go in as like as part of that first belief of like, this is part of how I'm gonna try to decipher the Irida and everything. It's like, I know this is connected somehow. This is a prophecy of some sort.
Okay. Let's see. I think we should probably reword it more extensively then, because it's not actually going to be about Situs in this iteration now. So something like I believe that with the help of with the help of Situs and the Irida, I can stop what is coming. This relic maker is important. And then what are you going to do about it? Because like just talking to her isn't really like belief worthy or goal portion worthy. So
right.
What action are you going to take to like ensure, like figure out something about this lady? Or
I mean, I could just talk to her bird, right?
That's fair. Yeah. So I will gain.
I mean, my thought was just like, I will find out what information she knows.
Yeah. So what about this? I believe that with the help of Situs and the Irida, I can stop what is coming. This relic maker is important, so I will gain information about her doings through her or her bird. Right, because then either way, you can get something. And then I believe Celadon is meant to be my partner in life. I'll assist with his work at Nema. You're still technically doing that, and then we can leave the bird stuff there for now, just in case it comes up. Because if you're talking with her bird, your bird might be involved with that in some way too. So, instincts. If I have a task beyond my specialty, then I seek the advice of someone more competent. If I have a question, then I will consult answers from the Irida. If I meet a bird, then I will seek to determine its character. Traits: your grace, formalist, religious, competitive, careful, birdie talk, mark of privilege, dreamer, practice, precision, and driven. All right. So, Alyssa, what do we want to start with here in terms of your beliefs?
I guess the first thing I might want to start with is talking to my contact with the Hofseth Society, my friend
Damaris, yeah.
And just be like, hey, I know you told me something yesterday. I think I know it, like, and you know all the craziness that just happened.
Mm-hmm.
I know why. You need to convince your people to like join us, because otherwise you're going to be in immediate danger.
That makes sense.
You already are, but I mean, like,
yeah.
If you don't join us, you're going to be in real big trouble.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So part of this will be the fact that you might be a target for Seraphim right now. So if you leave the protection of...
But does he know that, though? Because
you can risk it if you'd like to. I'm just telling you, like...
I know, I did think about that, but I don't know. Am I a target? Like,
so at the very least, as an audience, we did learn that like Seraphim was planning on just sending his entire army, right, to just like decimate everyone.
To Joser, not to me specifically.
Not to you specifically, but you're with Joser in a sense now.
I mean, am I really?
Because this is the idea.
Does he know that?
This is the idea. You're in the tabernacle stuff, right? And so I think there is like a kind of standing. Because remember the hierarchs of Setkis were told by Seraphim basically starve them out. Like you're not allowing anyone in or out of that area.
That's true.
Like we're on lockdown until we can do something about them. So there's going to have to be somewhat like you leaving yourself is going to be dangerous. You could probably
well, especially because I suck at being conspicuous.
Exactly. Or inconspicuous.
Inconspicuous. I am great at being conspicuous. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, yeah, that's kind of a problem then. I can't even write a letter because I don't know how to write. And I don't know anybody who would be crazy enough to go out and do that.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, why is this weird?
Okay, I'm trying to think of a way that I could like somehow like get there safely or convince somebody to deliver this message. And then I'm assuming that also goes with I can't learn more about Indu necessarily either, because that's also out of the reach of the tabernacle place.
You
Like,
do
what
have
exactly is out of reach
yeah.
here?
We'll
I
let's
guess
go
that's
to
the question.
go to the city map here and we'll figure that out. So
What's off limits currently?
So currently, you guys are stuck in. Yeah, there's kind of like a weird partial thing happening. I think probably the thing that makes the most sense. Didn't we say? I'm confused as to where we actually put the temples of.
Well, it's
Hagiel
the tabernacles. Oh yeah, where Hagiel
right,
is.
Well, yeah, because the thing I'm seeing here, right? We have the temple district as 4, but we also have the storehouses at 3. And we know that Hagiel's super into like grain storage and all that stuff. I don't remember if we and it also would be bad for you guys if like there were 2 separated locations that were protected. So it might make the most sense, even if we've said in the past like you went to the temple district. I don't think it breaks continuity too much to just say the temples of Hagiel are in or by number 3 here, so that we have one contiguous area that's like under the protection right now.
Okay, well, because aren't we on the outskirts of 10?
Exactly, right? So, well, you're in 10 basically. So I think the idea would be,
it's covering 3 and 10.
Pretty much, right? So, that's
Okay.
so small. Let me find a. I think the idea is this is the protective barrier. Is 3 and 10 for all intents and purposes. So anything outside of that, the artisan district, which is where Hopstep Society would be, is nearby, right? It's next to this, but it's in 2. Yeah. So it's not like you have to go through the whole city to get to it, but it's still dangerous.
Yeah. Maya never backs down from a challenge though, and she's also, I think she's concerned for her friend. And that like she's going to become a target because her god just died.
True.
So and she also wants to get her and more people safe and more allies. So I don't know, I feel like she'd risk it. But
yeah.
It's probably not a good idea, but
so you're just going to risk going yourself?
Let me see.
Because the other option would be like to send some sort of messenger or something, right? That could.
I know, but I don't know if I want to put other people in danger.
Yeah, that is also fair.
What does my skill extortion do again?
So basically, it's convincing people to do stuff because you have blackmail or something on them.
Oh.
Right, so it's like, if you don't do this for me, bad things are going to happen in one way or another.
Okay.
So like, ruffians who stand in the road and shake people down for money as they come through or extorting people. They're like, we're protecting the road. Give us some money and you'll be protected. Because if you don't give us money, oh no, you're not protected from anyone, including us. Right. So it's kind of like a particular form of intimidation, sort of, where you're getting like money out of it, typically.
No. Man.
And you have that because you were like a king's bastard,
right?
Yeah.
Right. I just use that.
Right. You're like, Well, you probably used it
Oh,
on.
I didn't.
Like
but
the. Well, you did you must have in some capacity. 'Cause you have
I
the
must
skill,
have done it
right?
when I was I must have done it when I was an actor and just like, yes, tell me all your secrets, noble person
Yeah. There
wants
you go. Yeah.
to sleep with me,
Yeah.
kind of a thing. Oh, now give me money because, or
Yep,
else I will
yep.
tell everybody.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. I wonder if she would use that route. I wonder if there's somebody on here on this island that like I do have blackmail on that I could use that for because she feels much less guilty about sending someone like that.
You could circle someone up. That sounds like a circle scroll.
Okay. Yeah.
Right?
Find somebody who I've got dirt on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What would the ob be?
That is a good question. I suppose it would depend on some factors. I'm trying to look up something. No, there you go. Okay. I will take a look and we'll figure it out.
There was someone also from the Hot Stuff Society that would be. It's just
yeah. And that's the idea basically is like the more specific this person is going to be, the harder the roll. But you can
even though I have an affiliation with them, that would make it harder.
The roll will be harder, but you will have more dice, right? It's a give and take where you're like, it's the Hot Stuff Society person. Oh, that's unlikely, but I do get my dice, so it just kind of depends on a few different things. I mean, because the idea is just finding, someone who has the same life path as you is one thing, but finding someone who has the same life path as you, who you happen to have dirt on, and happens to be in a situation where you can use it against them, like all of those are kind of more specific.
That's
things.
fair. Then I don't need that specifically.
Well, we can check and see what the obs would be. Okay, so who are you looking for in terms of a role? So you broad occupation or profession, same life path, uncommon occupation or within the same setting, specific occupation, and occupation rare or unique within your setting. What kind of person do you need this to be?
I don't think it matters.
Doesn't matter. Okay. Sounds good. Same station, rank, or social class, or lower or higher than you?
Again, I really don't think it matters.
Yep. And then, so disposition and character knowledge. So let's see.
They don't have to necessarily know more than me. If anything, I know more than them, but.
Well, so what do you need this person to have or be?
I need them to be able to, I guess, be slightly stealthy. So that way, like, they can.
Oh, so this is just like.
This is literally just, I need somebody that I have dirt on that I wouldn't necessarily, I wouldn't necessarily feel bad, like, sending out.
Oh, I see.
To go deliver a message.
I get it. Yeah, sending them a message. For some reason, I was thinking this person would be. I forgot the point of finding this person. Cool. Yeah, that makes sense. So let's make it an ob 3 altogether, I think.
Oof. Okay.
Right, because it's mainly they have to be good at this. You have to have dirt on them, and they have to be right here, ready to go. Right.
Okay. Would I be able to use my reputation as a bastard since like
that's one of the reasons that you are good at extorting people like this. Yeah, so that makes sense.
So, okay, use that as a reputation. And then I don't know if I could use my affiliation as a nobility or a Hot Stuff Society to help me with this, but
I think nobility probably because given your position in the camp here, in the refugee camp, like you have pull over people like that.
Okay. So then I'm rolling 5 dice. I'm gonna use a persona on it as well.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Sub 3. Oh yeah.
There you go. Right on the money. Cool. So
and I upgrade.
Nice.
I upgrade 4 circles. Is pretty good. Yay!
Okay, so given that it's right on the money, typically the way it works is this isn't a person that we name. It's just, hey, you have the ability to extort this person for money and go send them to do the thing. I think given the dangerous nature of it, you will still have to make the actual roll to like extort them. But this is a person you have dirt on, right? That you can attempt to do this on.
Okay.
So let's take a look at extort obstacles, I suppose. It's probably just their will, I think,
It's
but
probably their will.
yeah, we'll see.
I'm not as good as extorting as I am other things, but I can fork a bunch of stuff in, I'm sure.
Extortion test. Will exponent of the victim plus any situational disadvantages. I don't think you have any of those. You got a successful circle, so this is someone who's like subject or vulnerable to this sort of thing. The forks it usually lists here are intimidation, interrogation, falsehood, and ugly truth. But if you have an argument for anything else, we can. So I think the ob is going to be. I think we'll just make it op 3. Right. This isn't a terribly strong-willed person.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, I think I'm gonna tell. I would like to make the extortion, and I could, since I got the success, I could make up what I'm extorting them about, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure.
Probably, I would say maybe it was. I'm trying to think.
It'd probably be a Sinia.
I wonder if I make it I think it might be a woman.
Okay.
I think she used to be a prostitute and she's now married and hasn't told her husband.
Okay, yeah. You're a terrible person. You're gonna send this lady to die, possibly in the city?
Yep.
Okay.
I need somebody to go.
Fair enough.
I will do anything to protect my husband, right? So, and our people. And she's not a friend. Who cares? It's fine.
Maya,
she's not even
she gets
named.
the job done.
Someone's got to.
Yeah,
so I want to, basically extort her and say, like, yeah, hey, remember me? We used to be in the business together.
Yeah.
You like that husband that you got there?
Uh-huh.
Would you like to keep that husband? Good. Go deliver a message for me.
Yeah.
Also, it's for the good of the people. If you don't, we will probably all die.
Yeah, exactly. Sounds good. I'm generating a version of the character sheet right now. Let's see what she'd actually have in it. Okay, yeah, I think she'd have a good falsehood and inconspicuous. Awesome. Yeah. So I suppose let's roll to extort this woman.
Okay.
Actually, so given the character sheet that I just like burned up here based on the life paths that you probably have, it would be a will 4.
Okay. That's fair. Okay.
Yes. Given the type of person this is, she'd have a little bit higher will than that. Cool.
So can I fork in family secret wise?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Husband wise?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I see what you did here. Yeah, persuasion's fine. Yeah.
Falsehood, because I don't know if I'd actually tell.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And
you can embellish how bad, like how
like drama wise.
No, yeah. Drama wise makes sense. I was gonna say with falsehood, like you're probably also embellishing how dramatic the response of the husband is gonna be, right? Like stuff like that.
Yeah. I'm also probably lying that, oh, it's not that dangerous. Like, don't worry.
Right.
You'll be fine.
Yep.
But I got many other important things to do.
Exactly. I'm just too busy. This isn't about danger at all. Yeah.
Okay. So I think that's it though. Yeah. Persuasion, husband wise, family secret wise, falsehood, drama wise.
Okay. Yep. Okay. 4.
Okay. Okay, here we go. Yeah. I extort her so good.
Very fun. Awesome. Yeah, that's good roll. And Chad is here.
Hi, Chad.
I didn't even notice because the overlays were such that he just didn't show up on anything yet. Cool.
Hello.
I'm
extorting a prostitute or an ex-prostitute.
Nice.
to go
I
do my
was
dirty
listening.
work.
Yeah.
So basically, yeah, and so I can even have Malekith probably write the letter for me, but basically, I want to write a letter that just says like, "Hey, it's me. I know what happened
I'm the
to your
problem.
god.
It's me.
I'm the problem. It's me. I told Joser about your secret, and he unleashed this tabernacle, which thus unleashed the zombies upon everybody. So come here if you want to stay safe."
Very good. Very good. Yeah, I think didn't Chad miss this last time? What happened?
Yeah, Chad. Everything happens when you're gone.
So as a quick reminder for you, Chad, as to what has happened since you left. So Maya found out from one of her acting buddies that their god, or the priests of their god, the Hopsef, who's like the god of music and arts and stuff, is kind of like the acting god or whatever. The priests of Hopsef were worried that something was going wrong with him. And Joser, Josh's character, was like, ooh, okay, I think they're trying to kill him. The god, death god's trying to kill him, and he got all of his priests together, prayed to try to intercept it, and failed. And so the god of death was like, who are you? I see you now. I see that you tried to do this. And to protect himself, Joser had to try to do a miracle to like put up a protective barrier against all the zombies. And he succeeded. He got 18 successes, I think. On a that was his ob wasn't anywhere near that, but like he got so high that we just basically said, okay, you got part of the city is just like kind of
he got 16
protected
successes.
from 16. Okay. Is protected from zombies now.
He rolled so many sixes.
And the whole city's against them now, basically, except for that small portion of it.
The whole city's against who?
Joser and Maya.
Even though he protected
and all the
them?
Sinians. No, so he, again, Seraphim, the god of death, is the main patron god of this city.
Okay.
And Hopsef was like a minor guy, and he was trying to protect Hopsef, who nobody really cares about.
But he failed, and so he died.
Well, so he failed. That god died. Yep. And then the god of death noticed that this was attempted to happen and was like, wait a second, who are you? And then Joseph's like, uh-oh, crap. And basically
about Joser.
Yeah, exactly. A bunch of zombies were about to like go like attack him until he made that roll to protect himself. So.
Oh, I see.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So stakes have been raised. Who knows how long they'll stay in Sekis? We'll see.
Is this the god that Ophelia is like cool with?
One of them, yeah.
Okay.
So the main one she worships is called Dikea, and she's the goddess. She is a dead god, but she's the goddess of animals and mischief and whatnot. But yeah, there's a whole pantheon of dead gods, and the god of death is the one who started this whole process by killing gods. So anyway, yep. So now I will go ahead and what's it called? Roll for this lady, inconspicuous, to try to see if she survives this whole thing. I'm getting the overlays fixed again real quick. And so you're trying to get this this prostitute to do what exactly?
I want to write a letter to.
Okay, just deliver a letter to Damaris.
Yes.
Okay, sounds good.
Letting her know that your god is dead. You can come to us for safety.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. All right.
I don't know if I could give her any kind of helping die at all. I don't think I have any skills for that, except conspicuous, but I don't want to be conspicuous.
Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll some dice for this lady. So she's gonna make an inconspicuous roll to attempt to get there without being hunted down by zombies or whatnot.
Oh,
That was not very good.
that was
I guess
not
I'll-
good at all.
Yeah, I'll make a roll of some sort here, like whoever's trying to notice this in response, right?
Wow, that was really terrible.
Let's see.
I wish I could have given her some kind of helping die, but I don't think I have any skills other than conspicuous.
Luckily, I don't think this person that'll be watching has
Has it trained?
Has it trained? I don't think. Oh, actually, might be a better.
This person? I thought it was zombies.
Oh yeah, that's a good question. Let's see if I can find those stats for zombies. I think they're in here somewhere.
I don't think people would be looking out necessarily.
You are probably correct. Here we go. Soldier of the Damned. Yeah, none of these have observations, so I think we'll go ahead and yeah, okay. I'm gonna roll this for them. So they aren't trained in this. So they will have to get all successes. They're rolling 4 dice. They have to get 4 successes to actually succeed. And they do not. So, right. Hers counts.
See, I knew she'd be fine. It's all good.
Yeah. You can justify this however you like, Maya. So yeah, we don't really need to even see that scene or whatever. What did you have in the letter to Damaris? You just wanted to come here? Or are you like actually making like a test to convince her of something through the letter?
I mean,
like, is this setting up a meeting that you'll use to then convince her of something, or?
I mean, I don't think I see the difference if it's in person or in a letter. I'm going to have to make the roll no matter what. So I don't know that it really makes a huge difference, except that I can maybe be more dramatic about it.
Yeah, the issue will be there are zombies patrolling the streets, and there's been like the city is on martial law, and basically all citizens have been told not to enter this area of the city, right?
Well, right. So that's why I feel like I would do it in a letter.
Okay.
That's why I'd be like, hey, like, get your people, find a way to get here safely, and we will protect you.
Okay, sounds good.
Now I'm just debating. I feel like I should just go for an straight up ugly truth and be like, if you don't come here, you will straight up die.
Yeah.
Like, because that's what will happen. You worshipped a guy that is now dead.
Yeah,
and
the thing is, I think it's not gonna be like an all one ugly truth. It's gonna be a bit more nuanced than that, because they don't know that.
Yeah.
And to be fair, you don't even necessarily know if the
Hopsep is actually dead.
Well, you can. I think Joser knows that and has probably shared it with you. Well, actually, you probably haven't seen him.
I haven't even seen him yet.
Yeah, that's true.
I just know that this whole crazy thing is happening, and I'm like, Joser really screwed something up.
Yeah.
Actually, I guess that's true.
One of the things is just that I don't think you have like concrete proof that they'll just try to kill the priests of Hopsef, because the thing is, right now he's part of the dead god pantheon. So maybe they're fine with them, right? I think it is technically true in an ultimate sense that they're in trouble, but it's not as like immediately obvious to you or to anyone, right? So you can make the roll, but I think it's like an ob 4 ugly truth.
Okay. I still want to like work on ugly truth, so I'm okay with that, and I can work stuff in. Honestly, and I think that might even be better odds than, because she has like a will 6, doesn't she? It's like ridiculous.
Oh, Damaris, yeah. Probably. That makes sense.
I think she has a really high will, so I'm okay with that. I want to.
Yeah, she has a 6 will, so this is probably the better option. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and that's fine. I want to work on ugly truth anyway. So, I'm thinking. What do you think I can fork in here? I feel like I can fork in persuasion. I guess it just depends on how I word it, but
Yeah. Yeah, it would just depend on how you worded it, I suppose. So you're what are you saying? Exactly in your letter here.
Basically, I'm just trying to say, like, Hopseth is in danger, or because I don't know that he's dead necessarily. Something has gone very wrong, and if you don't come here and work with us, it's very possible that the Church of Seraphine will wipe you guys out. So when you can, gather your people and come here, and we'll figure this out together, kind of a thing.
Yeah, I think this is going to be an ob 5 ugly truth, because part of the issue is you're also basically asking them to give up their position in the city, their very high respected position in the city. Right?
Dang. Okay.
Like it's possible. It's possible that they're smart enough to figure this out, because I think it is ultimately true. What you're saying here. It's just that they're going to be in the short term, they're going to be sacrificing a lot.
I mean, their god's dead. I don't know what else to tell you.
He's undead,
Ugly truth about a complex political situation. That's not 4. Or I guess
it's nuanced and delicate.
Yeah. Dang. Yeah, I don't know. Because I really don't know what else I would say.
Yeah, no, that makes sense to me. I'm just realizing the gravity of the situation here. You do have 4 persona to work with, so
I know, but I don't.
Yeah,
use up all my persona at this point. Okay. Trying to think if I can I don't know if I could fork in anything else. I'm not trying to lie to her. I don't know if soothing platitudes would work in this case.
probably not. Yeah.
Probably not. Yeah. I feel like it's just 5 dice against 5. This is probably not.
What did you fork in?
Persuasion.
I think you can do drama wise. I mean, certainly this is all very dramatic.
That's true. Okay. I mean, I'll take it.
Yeah.
But I feel like that might be it. I don't know if I could make I don't think I can make an argument for etiquette, because I'm not being I'm just like, here's a letter.
Yeah.
Okay.
So would you like to spend any persona or no?
Yeah, I probably should. This is pretty important. I was gonna be so mad because I just know I know I'm gonna waste this persona on this roll. Man, and no 6s.
No 6s. So close,
Man. Okay, well, I might as well use a fate. I've got 10, so.
Yep.
Dang it.
Yeah, that's a no. So
that's a no for us. All right. Well,
it's a valiant effort, very close, but no scar. I think you just get a letter back that basically says, like, I'm sorry. Let's see. It's gonna be very short and dramatic, and it basically so like it basically says, I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do for you now. Good luck, old friend.
Yep. That sounds about right. I'm all alone.
Yeah.
There's no one here.
So, in theory, you could like try to go visit her in person and use a different skill. Like there are technically other avenues that you could try to do this, but right now, ugly truth has not worked. So,
okay, sounds good.
Cool. Well, do I want to hop over to Chad and do some Alpheus stuff?
Sure.
Let's do it. So where we last left off, Alpheus, his grandfather. Well, he learned that General Spiridon was actually his grandfather. And Titan tried to kill him, both him and his grandfather, and failed on both counts. So we're probably picking up with you guys after the fact, right? The next day or whatever, after Spiridon's gotten his wounds treated and whatnot, and they're all light wounds. I don't like. I suppose I should probably roll for it, but it's probably not that big of a deal. They're all light wounds, and I think Spiridon kind of hobbles into you're probably in the dining room or something, right? Like eating breakfast, provided by his servants. And that's when he kind of hobbles into the room, and still kind of clutching his sore, wounds in the gut. And obviously had bandages and stuff, but he kind of leans against the door frame and has a servant like basically saying, "You shouldn't be moving, General Spiridon." And he just waves the servant off and then says, "Alpheus, we need to talk. I said we talk."
Shouldn't you be laying down?
I've had much, much worse. I'm still here.
Whatever. Why don't you come sit on the bed over here, and then we can talk.
You're in the dining room.
Oh, why don't you sit down at least, and then we can talk.
All right. Bring me some wine. It's 9 a.m., sir. Bring me some wine. And he sits down. Well, I sure took a beating yesterday.
Could have been worse. I'm glad you're all right.
Could have been much, much worse. Well, Titan's still out there. We have another problem, Alpheus. I'm gonna go with you on this dang fool crusade of yours, but I don't have an army. Do you happen to have one that I can lead? I'm happy to offer my skills, but I have some men, but not enough to save a kingdom.
No, I don't. I mean, out of character, I don't have anyone, right?
Yeah, and like in theory, Alpheus, you don't know what happened after you left Sinia, right? You knew that things got worse, but you technically don't know that like the plan is off. It isn't off, right? It's still on technically, and so you could just suspect that. Well, Caledon was going to Nema to get some mercenaries, and in theory, he'll bring the mercenaries to, right? So, like, it's kind of up to you where you want to go with this. Like, there's a couple of different things I see, right? You could be like, okay, General Spiridon, give me some leads, and we'll make some persuasion tests, right? And we'll try to get some, like, an army on your side, right? Like, we'll steal it from Kyrides if we have to. Or you could just be like, Spiridon, Grandpa, you come with me, we'll go, I don't know, go to Nema or just go to Sinia.
Wait, so what happened with Caledon doing that?
He is currently still in the middle of doing it. It's just that Alpheus has no way of confirming that he is.
Oh.
So it's kind of up to you whether or not you want to either just, try to recruit an army in addition to the army that Caledon's possibly getting, or if you don't think he's
Do I have money
to do it. No, that would be another concern, right? Or just say, Spiridon, like, we'll find you one either by going to Nema and checking to see if Caledon's even there, or going straight to Sinia. Like, if you really wanted to be bold about it, you just be like, we'll go to Sinia and there'll be an army when we get there. Just like assuming, like, maybe.
Well, I don't want to lie to him.
Yeah, and you don't know, right?
So I'll just, okay, so in character, I tell him, well, I can't confirm whether we're really going to have an army or a military at all. We had a man going to recruit some men from Nema, and I don't know if it worked or not, to be honest.
Well, I have to be honest, Alpheus, after Titan's attempts here, I don't think I'm long to stay in Kyrides. If I stay too long, I'll probably be arrested.
So we should go to Nema then.
All right. Go to Nema, and your friend is hiring mercenaries, and I'm going to lead that whatever ragtag group of mercenaries that is.
Can you do it?
Of course I can do it, boy.
Well, let's go.
It's not going to be easy, but All right.
You're a legend.
I guess I was just hoping you had some better plan than this, but no, I trust you. I trust you. Don't. He holds up a hand as if to stop any argument that you have. I'll make the arrangements, and we'll head out. And I think he just looks at Ben at that point, and he says, "So this boy is going to be the new king of Sinia, eh?" And he kind of, Ben looks down shy,
That's the plan.
I don't know how I got myself into this, Alpheus. After all this is over, you owe me big time, like you promised.
Come on, Grandpa. Of course I'm going to pay you back.
Yeah. And then
Plus,
I think
you love me.
Yeah. He looks at Ben and he says, "What do you have to say, boy? How are you going to run Sinia? You have it in you? You don't look like you have the blood of kings." And Ben kind of tries to straighten his posture, and he says, "My mother was the king's daughter, and while she was a bastard, I admit this. Because he's been filled in all this at this point, I think, right? My mother was a noble. My mother is a noble woman, and I think, and my father is as shrewd and wise as they come. I know that maybe I don't have the training yet to be a good king, but I know that I have the blood for it. And if I have good advisors, I can rule Sinia well." And I think I'm going to have him make some sort of roll here to convince Spiridon of this. I don't know how well it's going to go, but I'm just, at the very least, I'm just going to look at his sheet and see what he even has to work with here. He has falsehood and persuasion. He's working on oratory. I feel like that's kind of what it was. He was trying to make a little speech. The thing is, he's not going to succeed because Spiridon is. I think he has a good will here. What did he have? Only a 5. It's being learned though, so probably. You know what? I'm gonna have him make a persuasion because he actually has the skill, and I'm gonna have him fork in at his only other 2 skills, acting and falsehood, because I think there is some bravado happening here where he is just trying to play the part. He's faking it until he makes it. He's not actually sure of himself. But we'll see if he can possibly pull off a win here. And he has a persona to spare, so I'm gonna have him spend that too. We'll see what happens. All right, we got a 2, no fate. I don't think I'll spend anything more on it.
Can I help him?
Yeah, that's true. You could have helped him. I'll roll another d6 for him. All right. Well, you got 3. I suppose he'll at least spend 1 fate and try to get those 2 successes. Whoa!
Did he get it?
He rolled 3 6s in a row.
My son is so great.
Man, that was impressive. That's crazy. Let's see. What was he actually rolling here? Yeah, so that was a difficult test for his. Which he didn't need. That's a bummer. For his persuasion. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty remarkable. He Spiridon is probably really impressed. He just looks shrewdly at the boy and he says, "I believe you. By Aratos, I actually believe you, boy. Very well. Let's get going then, shall we?" And he like waves to a servant and is like, start the preparations. We leave as soon as we can get the supplies. And he, names some port city that's like north of here that you can take a boat to go to Nema to. And I think we kind of just skip ahead a little bit here because I had a scene in mind. And I think you guys have just kind of reached this port city, right? And you guys are so you're like here, right? In the north of Kyrides. And a couple days have passed. Titan hasn't shown his face again. But you guys have like just arrived in the port city and you're starting to, navigate your way through it. Basically, what's his face? Spiridon brought like his honor guard, right? So you have like a cadre of soldiers here to help you. And Spiridon's obviously here. And then I think the first thing that happens, right, is you guys are you've stopped in some either like a tavern or a marketplace or something, and someone is buying something for some reason. There's just like a small respite that's happening before you move on through the rest of the city. And Alpheus, Ben nudges you in the ribs. He says, Alpheus, there, it's Knossos. And you see like the thug who you freed from slavery. He apparently made his way to this city right when he ran off. And he is currently being sold as a slave again at an auction. He got captured, right?
Man, that guy has a rough life.
Exactly. But that's kind of what happens when you like run from being a slave. Is like someone's going to pick you up and you have no money and you're dressed in slave clothes. It's like, oh, okay. I see what happened here. Right. And so Ben looks up at you. He's like, Alpheus, we have to buy him or free him or something.
Okay. All right. I'll handle this. And then I walk up to, is somebody like own him is right there?
Yeah,
like,
it's like
the
literally
guy who
like
owns
an
him is
auction,
there?
right? It's like an auction. So maybe it's not
Okay.
the owner, but it's at least the guy who's selling him currently.
Okay,
right?
so I walk up. Or is the auction like happening right now?
It's currently happening, and he's like the next in line to be sold. So like there's someone ahead of him.
So as soon as I actually will wait until the guy in front of him is sold.
Yeah.
And then as soon as they open up the bidding for him, so I get up and I say, that's my slave. Release him to me.
Yeah, and the slaver like looks at you, and he's like an unsavory looking guy with like a big tooth missing right in the front, and he's balding. And he looks over at you, and he's like, "What are you talking about? I've had this slave for 5 years."
You lie. That slave's name is Knossos, and he belongs to me.
And Knossos is looking at you like you've never seen him look so happy to see you, right? And you can make a roll, right? You can make a persuasion, and the idea here would be like you don't want to get on the bad side. Like I am the owner, just release him to me, and like you won't get in trouble, sort of a thing, right?
But actually, if I'm lying, I'll fail because
that's
I don't
true.
have falsehood.
Oh yeah, you are lying. You're not doing persuasion.
So is there a way I can make it not a lie? I've already said he's mine.
Yeah.
But can I try to persuade him to release him to me without lying? Like, can I just be like, hey, look, I lost him when we were traveling near General Spiridon's house, and that's probably where you found him, like something like that, without saying. Or is it because I already said it?
Yeah,
do I have to roll that?
It's not even that you like because you already said it. I just feel like any way you're gonna frame it, it's still gonna be like disguising the truth in some way, right? So I think it will be a falsehood, but hey, if it fails, you'll have other skills you can try, right?
Okay.
So yeah, let's have you make falsehood. Your Abba's gonna be base 3, because that's his will. So I mean, it's possible with some luck, but
Right.
because you're doing it being learned, I think Ben can help you with just his will, right? And so he just chimes in and just like
How
tries
lo-
to help your lie.
So how do I get it out of being learned?
So you actually, this test, if you make the test, you will learn it.
If I beat it, or if I just do it?
If you just do it at all.
Oh, okay, then I'll do that.
Yeah. So either way, you'll learn it this time.
Okay, so I'll roll falsehood.
Yeah. So
With
Ben
one help?
is chiming in. Yep. And so he's basically
Can I
saying
fork in persuasion? And
you cannot because it's being learned.
because
You
it's
can't
being
fork.
learned.
Yeah.
Okay, so just one.
Yep. So he just chimes in and tries to help your lie and corroborates what you say.
Base ob 3.
Yep. All right. So not a big chance that you'll actually succeed, but you can technically spend one fate if you'd like to reroll one of those failed dice. You'd have to get 3 sixes
To try
in a row,
to get a 6.
or 2 6s in a row and then a success. But I mean, hey, Ben just did it.
It
so-
just happened. Who knows?
If you, I mean, I think you have a lot of fate too. Yeah, you have 12 fate. There's not much reason not to do it.
But okay.
Because and if you spend a fate in here, you get a fate spent in your will.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which
Okay, I'll use one. Remaining ob 3.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Well, one success, but you needed more than that. Sad day. Yeah. So the slaver almost seems convinced, and then he just like shakes his head, and he's like, "No, that doesn't make any sense. You're lying. You're just trying to get a free slave. Well, does anyone have any serious offers?" And someone like says, 2 coins or whatever. And the bidding just starts. Unless you
Okay,
want
so
to like interrupt
I'll tell him. Yes, I am lying, but that man is not a slave. So you have no right to sell him as one.
Classic Alpheus, there would have been a better story to start with, but he just keeps going through the stories one by one until, yeah. So.
Oh, wait. So how do I add falsehood now as a skill?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
We'll go ahead and take it off here. And then it starts at half of your will rounded down. So it will start at a 2.
Okay.
But now you can fork it into things, right?
Yeah, and I don't have to roll double
Indeed.
difficulty.
Yeah, good. I'll try to put it in alphabetical order here. Cool.
So the fate I use goes into will, not falsehood?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I did that. Okay, cool. All right, so I tell him, yeah, he's not a slave. You have no right to sell him as one.
Do you happen to have any proof of this?
What like kingdom are we in?
You're still in Kyrides. You're just like in the north of Kyrides.
Okay, I say, does the word of Kyrides' most well-known and renowned generals bear any weight to you?
And Spiridon like rolls his eyes like, "Don't bring me into this, Alpheus." And he like holds his hand on like, "Hey, everybody." So basically, you just want to make a persuasion check at this point to be like the weight of like pressure, social pressure is on your side.
That's our friend.
Yeah. So yeah, he looks at you like, "Is this that's the truth?" Okay, fine. And he's like, "Sure, yes, that is my relative's friend. Release him to us at once. He's not a slave."
Okay, so I have to roll persuasion.
Yeah, and the main reason you're able to make the roll right now is basically because the social pressure of this like famous general being here is like could possibly get him to cave on it.
Okay, cool.
So Spiridon is going to help you with I guess just intimidation, right, for his presence. No, command, because he's basically commanding them to help. And you can actually get 2 dice from that for his help. And then Ben will offer persuasion as well, right? Just be like, "He's a good man. He doesn't deserve this." So 3 dice total of help. And then if you have any forks, I don't think you're lying about any part of this, but
can I fork it? No, rule of law. I don't think I could.
Yeah, I mean, you basically freed him illegally, right?
Okay. I'll just take the 3 helps from the friends. Base ob 3 again?
Base op 3 again, yep.
Okay,
Nice.
cool.
There you go. Yeah. I just did have to figure out how to do it with persuasion.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So a couple of people in the crowd like groan and be like, "No, what are you talking?" You know, like as they're like, the slaver's like, "Okay, fine, I'll release him," and he just doesn't want like the social pressure of this general being there to make him lose any face or whatever, and so he's like, "Get out of here!" And Knossos comes over to you. He's like, "Alpheus, I will never say anything negative about you again."
I appreciate it. You better not.
Yeah, and he says, "Well, I suppose, thank you, and good luck with whatever it is you're doing." And then he starts to turn away, and then Ben,
hold on.
Exactly, Ben grabs his arm too. He's like, "What are you talking about?" Knossos, no, you have to come with us. Otherwise, you're just gonna get put into slavery again.
We just saved your life, and you don't want to hang out. You don't want to come with us and travel with us. I almost said hang out with us.
It's not that I don't like you, Alpheus. I mean, I at this point, I'm more than grateful, but you're going back to Sinia, right? I don't want to do that.
What are your options?
I could become a fisherman.
When's the last time you ever fished?
Never.
Or you could come with us.
But you know what they say? Teach a man to give fish away and he'll start. I don't remember how the saying goes.
That's not the phrase, Knossos. Listen. Oh, no, you listen. Listen,
Alpheus,
the kid loves you.
Well, the kid's fine.
Between you and me, he's going to become the king.
Yeah, I know.
So if you come with us, he'll take care of you.
I don't think you're actually going to get there. I think you're going to die before that happens, okay? I just don't want to die too.
Perhaps I should give you back to the slaver then.
He swallows. Do you want to make a persuasion check? Because I think like you're going to have to convince him of 2 things here, right? One, that, yeah, it's his best interest to stay with you for just pure self-preservation reasons. And also, Ben Ash, like, this is going to succeed. We're going to do the mission. And at the end of it, if you're with us, right, you will be rewarded, right?
Yeah, I don't really know why I care if he comes. I only care that he comes with us because Ben wants him to.
Yeah.
So maybe should I be convincing him or should Ben be convincing him? It
sounded like you were making the role, right? You were leading the conversation.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll roll persuasion and I'll tell him. I'll just reiterate what I just said. Look, Knossos, this is gonna work. We've got a plan. It's not like before. We're not being held captive by Titan. Just trust me. If you come with us, Ben's going to take care of you once our plan succeeds.
Sounds good. Go ahead and make an Ob 5 persuasion check. His will is 4, but like, he has like a belief against this probably.
I can fork in 1 from Ben.
Yep.
A help from Ben.
Spiridon's just like crossing his arms nearby and he's just like, listen, I don't care what you do, son.
All right, I'm just going to take that and see what happens. 5, that's a high.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Well, you got 1 6, and there's no reason not to spend 2 fate on it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Remaining ob 1.
Mm-hmm.
Dice 2.
Mm-hmm. Oh no! 2 1s. Whoa!
Okay, I'll use my call on.
Oh yeah, I forgot you had that. Nice. Okay, so that means you get to reroll 1, 2, 3, 4 dice.
Okay. So I type in /R or something. I don't remember what. What do I type in for that?
Oh yeah, sorry.
You can always just re-roll it as fate too if you want.
And just put 4 dice.
Yeah, you can just do that with minus the period.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
So it worked.
Yep. Call on saves
Okay.
today. Alpheus is just too persuasive. Like at the end of the day,
It's all they have. It's all I have.
at the end of the day, Alpheus can talk a fish out of water,
So if it was Ob 5, is that difficult or challenging?
No, it said it there. It's routine, because you were rolling 8 dice against it. So, which you don't need, unfortunately. It was just slightly too easy.
Okay.
So I think he finally just sighs and he's like, "Fine, but just for now, all right, until I find something better." Where are you guys going anyway?
We're headed to Nema to hire an army. Hopefully the army's already been hired.
Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, Nema's better than Kyrie's. Let's go.
All right.
And you guys keep walking down towards the docks. And there's a moment that comes where Spiridon is kind of talking to the captain of a ship, right, to try to figure out what's happening here. And Ben, I think, turns to you, Alpheus, and says, trying to think of there'd be something there's some marketplace down by the docks here, and he points out something that he wants to look at or buy or something. It probably doesn't matter what it is, but I think you two and Knossos probably, right, because he doesn't have anything better to do, wander over just a little bit far, not too far away from the ship where Spiridon's talking to the captain, but kind of off by yourselves, glancing at the market, whatever item caught Ben's eye. And of course, that's the point where a big hulking zombie just appears out of nowhere.
Whoa.
And tries to probably attack Knossos. Because he's the thug-looking guy that's standing next to the two of you, crossing his arms as if he's watching over you. And this zombie has its orders to kill anyone that are holding Ben captive and take him. So that's what happens. Let me find the...
So sorry.
Alyssa did this.
So these zombies have, they can think a little bit?
Yeah, they can take orders at the very least, right? So the idea is this zombie appears out of nowhere, and then we see probably throughout the encounter a man slowly walking up, after it, sort of a thing. So let's see. It's going to attack Knossos, and Knossos, I assume, will defend himself. So we'll see how that goes.
We should try to run. Are they slow zombies?
This one is not. This is one's called a Night Hunter, and they're kind of made to do this sort of thing. So this is the Night Hunter's roll. It's rolling its savage attack. It got 5 successes. That's terrible. And yeah. I think Knossos' role here is basically just to try to keep it off of him so it doesn't cut his rip his throat out, right?
Does he have brawling?
He does. He has that's a pretty good brawling. So he's gonna roll brawling. He's gonna be able to fork in knives and murder wise. And then I think I'll spend a persona for him. And that'll be...
How much persona does he have?
He has a handful of them.
Okay.
Wow, okay, yeah, that was a good roll. So he just barely manages to keep this thing off of him. So yeah, Alpheus and Ben, the citizens around you, the fishmongers and whatnot, are all just screaming and running away. And Ben's just watching in horror, where he probably backed into you, and you have your hands on his shoulders for a moment, as this thing just jumps over like a case of a stand of fish or something, right? Knocks it all over, lands on top of Knossos and is just trying to rip out his throat with his giant long claws. And and Nossos just barely like grunting and straining, just like keeping it from like killing him. And he finally manages to like take his knife, stab once, right, like from his like holster, stab it once, and then like push the thing off, and then he rolls away, and he just like curses vulgarly under his breath and looks at the thing, and he looks back at you. He's like, "What the? We need to go now." What do you do?
So the thing's still alive?
Yeah, this thing's still alive. It didn't seem like the knife didn't do a whole lot to it, right? It's just kind of like got him away from him for a second, and it's kind of regaining its balance and stuff as it turns back to you guys.
You are so lucky I did not convince him to go after you.
Me?
Yeah, I was gonna go behind my husband's back and have him kill you instead, but then I decided not to.
You hired a zombie?
The guy who controls the zombies.
You're a bad guy.
I had to get my son back. You kidnapped him.
No, I didn't.
It's your fault he got kidnapped.
Hey, it tomato.
So yeah.
Okay, what do I do? We run away, obviously.
Okay, yeah. Fair enough.
We can't kill it.
Okay.
Or we don't know any obvious way. We've never seen a zombie before. Alpheus grew up with no magic, no zombies, none of this stuff.
All right, let me check something. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so the thing is, we're gonna roll for Ben here because he has the slowest speed, and both of you, I assume, are going to be making sure that Ben comes along with you, right? Like, I know you care about him, and I think Nossos does too, even though he wouldn't admit it. So the real role here
Where's my grandpa at?
He's over by the ship. Like there'll be a moment or two. He's far enough that like he can't help in the immediate moment, but there'll be a like after at least a little bit of time, he'll be able to help.
Did any of his men come with us?
No. You guys weren't not that far away. And Nachos was with you, so
no, I mean like on the trip.
Yes, he has an honor guard. That's what.
Okay.
Yeah. So as long as you
we're running, can we like yell for her?
Yeah,
help?
Of course. Yeah.
And they can come with their swords to slice this guy up.
Sure. Yeah. Actually, let's have you make that roll. Let's have you make a conspicuous roll to see how fast you can get their attention. You don't have the skill.
Conspicuous? I don't have that.
But it's probably a good one to know. It's not going to be super difficult. It's just going to be an ob 1, but it will be being learned, so it'll double it 2 automatically.
Add conspicuous. Okay, what's the
it's based on will.
Will. Okay. Ob 1. Can I get any help from Ben?
Yeah, sure. Honestly, both Ben and Nossos can be helping you here, right? They're both just yelling like, help, right? So actually, let's make it ob 2 that.
Oh, sorry. I didn't even make it anyways.
Oh, dang. That's bad. Man, okay.
3 ones.
Yeah, so it's not that they won't notice, right? It's like, obviously they will after some amount of time. It's just that
it's probably that so many people are screaming
exactly.
That they
don't know where you are specifically, right? So we'll have Ben make a speed test here as opposed to the zombie speed test. The thing is, you're all in a clump. You're all in a group together. So the zombie, if he catches Ben, he's not going to try to kill Ben, right? Like he has orders not to. He will try to kill Nossos though, but it is dependent on Ben's speed. How whether or not you guys get caught is the idea. So,
but you implied that the guy behind him is the one who's controlling him.
Yes,
but I didn't. How would I notice that? Would I have to have rolled observation?
Yeah, you can make a test of some sort. I don't think he's necessarily trying to keep himself hidden. I'll see if he even has a skill for that.
I don't have observation.
Let's check. Yeah, he does have inconspicuous, so I think he will be rolling that. Let me see. Does he have any good forks for this? Probably just the one there. Okay, so your ob is 3. Go ahead and add in observation.
To being learned?
Yeah, to being learned, and your ob is 3.
No help?
Yeah, I don't think so.
It's impossible.
Technically, nothing is impossible.
Oh my! How did I get 4?
That's pretty good. Hey, if you want to spend a fate on it, there's a 1 in 12 chance.
All right, why not?
Yeah, you got a bunch. They're
Whoa.
they're quickly
I'm running out of fate.
diminishing. Yeah. Oof.
Nope.
Yep. Cool. So you can
Where
mark
do I
that
put that fate?
in perception, and then you can mark that difficult test on perception as well. But don't mark a bubble on observation.
Nope.
You can mark a bubble on
There.
conspicuous though. Cool. Yeah. So the zombie. So yeah, you don't notice that it's being controlled by anything. You're just like, it's a random zombie. And then I'm gonna roll for its speed, and then that'll be what Ben rolls against. All right, it got 3 successes. So Ben needs to get all successes to make this work. We'll see what happens. And he does it. Whoa.
My son is so cool.
He is. It's really cool how this keeps happening. Yeah, so you guys barely managed to get to the soldiers, right? Before the thing descends on you. There's probably a moment where you're about to be caught, and then Knossos knocks over a stand and shoves all the fish or whatever into the zombie's way, and you guys scramble away. You get towards the ship, and then Spiridon is barking orders to his honor guard, right? Form up. And then they're all there with their spears and stuff, right? And they literally make it like a phalanx or something, just as you guys move past them. And then the zombie, I think, almost crashes into the line and then stops. And then slowly it stays just beyond their range, and is snarling and kind of.
Do we still see the guy? Is the guy behind him?
I was gonna say, after a moment, there's probably a tense standoff for just a moment. As Spiridon just asks you, are you okay? Is everyone okay? And I assume you answer and are sure.
Yeah, I mean, we got away from that thing. What is that?
Yeah, exactly. And after you say that, that's when you see this man walk up, and he looks like this. That's his actor. He's played by. And he walks over very slowly, and he is behind him is a huge zombie, like a Hulk looking thing, and there is, well, actually, he probably wouldn't have took that one with him, because that would have been way too conspicuous. He probably just has what looks like an ocelot next to him, padding along next to him. But when you look at it closely enough, you can tell that it's probably actually a taxidermized zombie as well. And he just looks over, and his night hunter thing is kind of pacing back and forth just beyond the range of the spears of the phalanx. And he calls out and he says, "Hello there." And you can tell Alpheus, as you look at him, he's blind. His eyes are milky white. He says, "I'm here for Ben Asher. There's no need for violence."
If you want Ben, you're getting violence.
Fair enough. I will warn you, though, my servants are very deadly. And I think Spiridon
Well, then we'll just kill you.
Yeah. Spiridon holds up a hand to shut up, Alpheus. And then he says, "I'd turn tail and leave if I were you. My men can cut apart that thing in seconds if they need to." And the man smiles. He has dark skin, and he looks like a foreigner. He says, "May I ask who you are? Which one of you is Titan?"
I'll just let Spiridon talk, because
yeah,
he told me to shut up.
Yeah. Spiridon says, "There's no one named Titan here." And the mercenary seems to frown. He says, "Now, that's interesting. I was told that one Ben Asher was being held captive by Titan, a master spy of Kyrides, and I was sent to retrieve him. And Spiridon like looks at you, Alpheus, like, wait,
I'll
do you know
say,
anything about this?
ask him who sent him.
Who sent you, mercenary? And the mercenary smiled and he says, Malekith and Maya send their regards. They've come for their son.
I'll speak up and say, then we're on the same team.
Wonderful. I suppose you'll give him into my care then without a fuss?
Absolutely not.
Then we are not on the same team, are we? Are you Alpheus by chance? I've heard something about you.
And if I was?
It would just amuse me, that's all.
Well, I am.
Then consider me amused.
You're not taking Ben. You might as well leave, like the general said.
So you don't want Ben to return to his family. How about you ask him? Let's see what he wants.
Answer him, Ben.
Ben looks at you like, how do I know that you're actually working for my parents? I don't know if they would send someone so foul. And he's just.
Do I know his mom is like crazy witch?
Well, his mom isn't. That's Maya's his mom.
Well, you be acting crazy. You be acting crazy as his mom. I know you're not a literal witch, but you're like crazy.
Yeah, sure.
You don't know any of that.
Maybe.
That's what I'm saying.
I did give him a message. I said,
what was the message?
Tell him Mom says to be brave.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Okay,
the last
perfect.
thing I said to him.
So the mercenary says. He's like, well, before we go any further, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Rek Ketsa, and I was given a message for Ben. Would you like to hear it? And Ben kind of looks at you and then says, sure, give your message. And Rek Ketsa says, your mother says to be brave, Ben. And Ben frowns and then looks up at you, Alpheus, and says, that's the last thing my mom told me before Titan took me. I think he's telling the truth. I think he's working for my parents.
So I'm like thinking, and I tell him.
Is this something where like the mercenary should make a roll to convince you?
Well, I don't care. Even if Ben's parents sent him, I'm not letting Ben go with him. Okay. I'm just not. There's no possible world.
Even if Ben said like I want to go with him.
I mean that would be like I would not trust. I don't trust the guy. I don't care who hired him. Plus, I don't think Alpheus believes Malekith would have hired the guy. Like, I don't believe Malekith would ever hire a weirdo that has dead things helping him do crap. Like, his mom, but I don't know if his mom's. I don't know if Alpheus knows that Maya is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You are crazy.
I'm not.
She's who sends a demon zombie after their own?
It's the best we could do in a new city. Malekith, I failed. My friend failed her circles roll, so that's the best we could get.
Yeah, so I'm thinking maybe.
And Malekith was in on it. He was there with me when we hired him. Yeah. Yes.
But I don't know that.
It's mainly that they were just desperate, right? And that was all they could.
You know that we would do anything for ourselves.
But I don't think Malekith would send a zombie after us.
So I'm thinking maybe that Rek Ketsa makes a persuasion roll for Ben to convince him that like this is in his best interest.
That he should go with.
You can always veto it if you You can be like,
well,
no,
I'll
Ben,
just persuade Ben to come with us. It'll be easy.
That's fair. Yeah.
And then we'll have to fight this guy, obviously.
More like Alpheus just points and the soldiers all attack, right? Let's see. It's a persuasion. I'm thinking. I think Rhett Quetzal also says, or as he's trying to convince Ben here, he's like, I promise that I will consider your safety of the utmost importance. My only mission is to get you back to your parents safe and sound. And he's actually going to make a falsehood roll.
Because I would tell this guy, like, I would tell Ben, like, bro, he almost killed Nasos, your best friend.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be what I persuade him. That's what I'm going to tell him if he loses this.
And then his ob, I think, is 2, unfortunately, because Ben is a child. No, 3. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, he succeeds. So Ben says what he said, right? Like, he says, I think he's telling the truth, Alpheus. I think I should go with him, don't you? I mean, if my parents are fine and alive, I should go to them. They'll know what to do. They'll know how to... You can continue your work with your grandfather, and we'll meet you in Sinia.
Ben, he almost killed Nasos, your best friend.
He thought he was an enemy.
Is this the kind of guy you want to travel with? I should have just left you with Titan. Titan's better than this guy.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and make a persuasion roll. You're just like, think for what? It's the
He
think
has
meme.
zombies. He's a bad guy. Good guys don't have zombie minions.
It's the invincible think meme where it's like, think, Ben.
All right. I don't think I can fork into anything.
Yeah, maybe not. Op 3 again.
Got him.
There you go. Yeah, so he nods slowly and he says, no, of course, you're probably right. Give my parents a message, mercenary. Tell them that I'm safe with Alpheus and that we'll meet them in Sinia and we'll end this there. Also, tell them that I love them. And I think Ben is going to have to make a roll here himself to like convince the mercenary that this is like the best option.
Because he seems like hell-bent on and that's his mission. He has to bring him
he
back.
made a falsehood roll primarily because he has other ideas as to what to do with Ben when he has him in his custody. Because failed circles roll doesn't.
Don't tell me that.
It doesn't exactly hire the best.
I don't
people.
I don't want that to influence my decisions.
Yeah. So let's see here. Yeah, I think he's just making a persuasion. With not many forks. So, yeah. I'll let him spend an Artha. Oof, yeah. No chance of that working out, even with fate. Or at least very, very little chance. Unfortunately, he still doesn't need any difficult or challenging in persuasion. He needs routines. He needs to, like, persuade other children to do things, but... Unfortunately.
We don't have any.
Or just
maybe he can persuade Nasos to do stuff.
You know what? You probably were giving him help dice there. There's no reason why you weren't, right? Let me go and add that.
Well, if he fails,
there we go.
Oh,
okay. Here, I'm gonna have him spend fate then.
He has remaining.
There you go.
2.
Yep, perfect. No, remaining ob 1. Yep. So. There you go. Yeah, all together, he just got it. Perfect. Yeah. So I think Rhett Quetzal, I mean, the thing is, right, if Rhett Quetzal had found you guys like on the road or with Titan or anything else, but surrounded by an honor guard of highly trained soldiers, he probably would have been more dogged about this. But I think it makes sense for the Rhett Quetzal to just be like, you know what? I should probably just cut my losses. I got paid. I can go back to them and just tell them their son is safe. And I should still, like, it should all still work out. I got paid, you know?
So out of character, what was his plan? What was he going to try to do? Like,
he was going to find someone that wanted to buy Ben, right? Like, or
like
something like that,
Titan.
right? Yeah, exactly. Someone like that. Just find a way to like exploit the situation.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, good.
Or even
I'm
just
glad
hold
we
him
got
for,
rid of him.
or even just hold him for ransom, like, and tell his parents, like, well, I have Ben, but I need some more money before I hand him over. You know, like something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next time something like this happens, Alpheus is going to ask his grandpa to just kill the guy, especially if it's Titan.
Yeah, fair enough. Cool, yeah. And so I think the one last thing I want to do before we move on from Alpheus is
on the days that I've had to get off early, do I still get fate at the end?
Yep. I've been giving you
Okay,
Artha,
cool.
yep.
I haven't paid attention.
All good. So I'm trying to decide right now what Titan is doing. Did he try to like follow you? Like, should I like the two things I'm trying to consider is, does he have some other plan to like go to Sinia or get Kyrides to do something to counteract what you're going to do with Titan? Or is he like going to follow you guys discreetly and try to like stealth follow you guys throughout what you're doing until he has another chance to strike?
Well, I don't think he can. Well, I don't know, because remember he had to like convince the like the pantheon of judges or generals or
The
whatever.
tribunal,
Yeah. So if he goes back and asks for soldiers or something,
they're probably
gonna be like,
him.
"What? You lost him?"
Yeah.
And I feel like that they wouldn't give him. I feel like they'd be done with him, or maybe they would.
So then I'm thinking either he. The three things that I'm thinking then is either he goes back to the tribunal and says, Spiridon is a traitor. We need to kill him. Like, give me soldiers to do this with. 2, he follows you discreetly and tries to wait for another moment to strike. And then I make a roll here to see if he can do so without you guys noticing him. You know, he might sneak on the ship as like a servant or something, right? Like pretending to be a servant. Or does he just like go to Sinia to like do something in advance of you getting there? What do we think makes the most sense for Titan in this situation?
I think he's more of a like long-term planner. Like I feel like the last option is more like him.
Yeah, probably. And like before, he was like he was kind of ruled by his emotions and he acted rashly because he was so angry at you. But I think if he has a moment to cool off, that is probably what his next.
I forget why he hates me.
Just because, I mean, you just keep ruining his plans, you know?
Okay.
So yeah,
I'm his arch enemy.
Pretty much, right? Well, he killed your father too, so.
Well, yeah, I hate him.
Yeah.
But I don't remember why he didn't like me.
Yeah. He's like, he thinks you're pathetic and he's surprised you've gotten as far as you have. And yeah, he's just annoyed. So yeah, I think the last thing we see before we move on from like Alpheus' stuff is we just see Titan. Maybe just maybe he did like follow you all the way to this town, right? And maybe he sees you guys get on the ship and leave. And then, you know what he does? I think he walks up to Rek Quetzal. And he says, "Hello there. My name is Titan. I have a proposition for you." And I think he's going to like try to get Rek Quetzal on his side to go to Sinia and do something.
Yeah, but Rek Quetzal knows he's the bad guy.
I mean, yeah, but like Rek Quetzal is a mercenary. He just cares about money. So if
but he already got paid. I mean, does he have any honor?
That is actually the question. Maya, did you guys pay him all like in advance already? Or was he going to get paid like extra when he got back to you guys?
I feel like we paid them all in advance. I remember.
I thought it was something like that. I'll maybe listen back and double check. But honestly, maybe either Titan just offers him more than he would have gotten by coming back to you guys. I think either way, Titan's going to try to intercept him here, because Circle's role has determined this isn't a very savory dude. Here, you know what? Actually, let me just roll for Titan. All right, let's roll and see if he can convince this dude to work for him.
Yeah, does he even have the funds?
I think it would be really fun to have like a little cadre of villains start to form here to face you at the end. Let's
Does
see. Okay.
he have?
He does have
Money?
persuasion.
Does he have
and he does have
resources?
money. Oh yes, he's a very rich man.
I hate that guy.
Mm-hmm. Remember, he had like a whole villa that you guys are
Yeah.
staying in. Let's see.
Oh, we should have money now too, because we have the general.
That's true. He has money. All right, we're gonna do this. What's this guy's will? Is the question. Will is 4. I'll make the ob 5 though, because I mean it is a little bit of an ask to the guy you were sent to hire to kill originally. Just suddenly comes up to you and tries to get you to switch sides. And he failed, but he does have fate, so we'll go ahead and
He had 1-6
and spend those.
Fail.
And doesn't quite get it. Almost. Very, very close.
Have this zombie kill him. That would be the best thing. No, I know you're not going to do that.
No, that doesn't make any sense.
It would be cool for Alpheus.
Oh, dang. He has a bunch of call-ons, Titan does, but he does not have a call-on for persuasion, unfortunately. So, can't do anything there. Yeah, that would be the question. The question would be like, does Rek
I'd like to think that Rek Hetsaw just is like, sure, I'll help you, gets like more money, and then just goes back to sickest.
Yeah, takes some money and then just leaves. Yeah. Well, I was thinking if Rek Hetsaw was like a little bit more of a savory character, he might like try to kill Titan and bring back his head to you guys as like a present, but I don't think he cares enough at this point. He's just like, I already got paid. I'll just go back and, whatever. But yeah, cool. So I think Titan will move on to other long-term plans, so you guys will be rid of him for now. But yeah, Alpheus is heading to Nema, so that's fun. Cool. Let's skip over to Avra, shall we? Do some Avra stuff. So Avra, you are in the headquarters of the Brass League in the mountains near Nema, and you just gotten a prophetic vision about this relic maker. Apparently, is part of this mercenary group, makes enchanted items for them or whatever. This woman, I don't think you know her name, but you have seen her in a vision. So how do you want to go about spending your next day here? Do you want to just like immediately start like asking around or searching or what?
Yeah, I mean, I think the first thing she'd probably try to do is like, based on the like room that she remembered from the prophecy, try to figure out where in the building she needs to be or wherever. I mean, we're in some kind of building, right? It's like,
yeah, it's like a fortress.
Kind of fortress.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Asking around with people in the halls if she needs to. Like, where would this where would describes the room? Where is this?
Yeah. I'm thinking maybe a circles roll makes the most sense here. Let's make it.
Laptop is charged enough.
Oh yeah, good. I'm thinking ob 2, like it's kind of like in a weird place where like you're either looking for her specifically or you're looking for a person who can just lead you to her.
Right.
And that one's probably going to be easier. So yeah, let's say ob 2 for the circles test. Just servant who would know where to go. So you have a circles of 2. So this will be a slightly difficult roll. I can make this one for you while you're pulling up 20. I don't think you really have any help here. So we'll just see how it goes. And I don't think this is like you don't find her. It'll just be like how you find her. All right. Well, you failed. You got 1 out of 2 successes. You can spend a fate to reroll 1 failed dice, though. You have 8 fate to work with.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And we will go ahead and try that. There you go. 2 successes more. Perfect. So, yeah, I think you are led to this woman's like workshop, right? And her name is Arisha. She's played by Letitia Wright. She is pretty much, for all intents and purposes, Cheery from Black Panther, except with magic instead of technology. And you see her slaving over some sort of so there's an amulet. The amulet that you noticed before is off to the side on her like workbench here, right? And she is currently looking at a case, like a glass case that has like a shard of black stone in it. She's like analyzing it with like some sort of magnifying lens or something that she has like strapped to her face. And her owl is like perched on like the chair next to her. And she's just like talking to it as she like looks at all this stuff, and she's just like, just unplug my headphones. She says, I still don't understand these properties. How do we... why have we never been able to use these before? And then she says, Zim, you don't happen to know the secret, do you? Zim hoots at her. And then she just shakes her head. Oh, of course you don't. And then she just, goes back to like studying this like black stone.
Yeah, I think Abra just like knocks on the door frame.
Oh, hello. Who are you? You don't look like you're from around here.
No, I'm Abra.
Oh, you're that Sinian princess that I heard something about.
Yes.
Here to send my brother on a full mission?
Well, hopefully not a full mission, but yes, we hope to.
Yeah, and so you put a few things together. This apparently is the sister that the main mercenary leader was talking about. And she says, well, why are you here? I assume you came to meet me specifically for some god's forsaken reason.
What was the actual item that I saw in the prophecy?
The amulet that was like it's on her workbench. She wasn't looking at it currently, but it has another one of these like shards of black stone kind of set in the center of it. But it's like set up to the side.
So I can deduce that these two things are connected somehow.
Yep.
Okay.
It's the same material.
Yeah. So she's just kind of looking at it and just asks, "What is that?"
Yeah, she kind of pushes it aside for a moment and then kind of like turns and kind of like leans against the workbench as if to kind of like block your view of it. And she says, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude, but I don't know exactly who you are or why you would be interested in such a thing. These are very sensitive experiments that I'm working on right now.
That's understandable. That's entirely fair. It's just that I had a dream last night of you in this room and that.
I'm sorry, you had a what now? Why are you dreaming of me, princess?
I'm trying to figure out how to be like, well, you see, I'm basically the next prophet king.
Yeah, her brother seemed highly skeptical of that type of magic.
Yeah, right. I don't.
I think the assumption is Citus and Caledon are talking with the leader right now.
Yeah.
Doing some stuff.
Yeah, and she just says, well, quite recently I have been having lots of prophetic type visions and dreams.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude, but I don't know if I believe in anything like that. I believe in what I can touch and feel, not prophetic dreams. How do I know you didn't just see me working last night? as you were walking by.
I mean, is this part of the fortress anywhere near where we were actually?
Not really, yeah.
Yeah, she just says, we didn't come anywhere near this part of the fortress last night. We went straight to our rooms.
I suppose I could get someone to corroborate that story, but let's not get distracted. Avra, what do you want? Why is it significant that you dreamed about me?
I feel like there's something wrong, and there's something I need to know in order to fix something here.
That's a lot of some things, Princess.
Well, that's the thing about prophetic visions. They're not always very specific.
I'll stick with relic making. Thank you very much. And she like turns back to her workstation, picks up the black shard in the glass case, and she holds it up so you can see it too, but she's like facing away from you, looking at it. And she says, "What's your bird's name?"
What is this bird's name? I forget.
Balthazar.
Okay, yeah. Balthazar.
Fine enough name. Mountain falcons aren't the most refined. I prefer these nesting owls myself. Zim has been a good companion. Very smart. You talk to them, huh?
How do you know?
Well, I can too. You just have an air about you. She sets it down. Looks back at you. I'll tell you what, Avra. I'll tell you something about what I'm doing here, but you have to tell me more about why you're even here in the first place. Why would I care that you have a prophetic vision about what I'm working on? Let's say you accepted my side of the story. I don't believe in any of that stuff. What's a reason I should care? I don't know you. You can just make a roll.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, she's basically just gonna say, like, yeah, we don't know each other, but clearly we both want answers about this thing in one way or another. And so maybe we could help each other find them.
Yeah, that would probably interest her if you can get a good roll on it. Let's take a look at what you got. Well, your social skills are oratory and soothing platitudes. That unfortunately sounded like a persuasion test.
Yeah.
So I guess let's work on another bubble of that. So persuasion, her will is 4. I will give you an advantage die because of the way you framed it. But that's probably all the dice you're getting. Unless you want to spend your 1 persona.
Probably not.
Yeah, so you'll
Just
probably...
in case we almost die somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. You'll probably fail this, but you can take another avenue if you do. So yeah, 1 advantage die, but you can set that up as 4. Oof. Lots of 1s. Yeah. So you did get a 6. If you'd like to spend 2 fate and bank it on a 1 in a million chance, you could.
Hmm.
You can mark a bubble in persuasion, though. You're 1 away from learning it at this point. That's nice.
Are my bubbles for persuasion? Oh, there they are.
Yeah, so yeah, after this, you'll yell 4, and you need 5 to get it.
I mean, I'm probably gonna fail anyway, so I might as well save them for something else.
Okay. Yeah, so she says, see, you almost had me. For just a second, that sounded interesting, but I still don't believe in any of the mumbo-jumbo that you're spouting, and I have to be honest, I'm a little wary of showing you something that you don't need to know. The work that the Brass League does is important, and we don't show it to just anyone. Even if your boyfriend manages to convince my brother to go on a crusade here, it doesn't mean we're going to share with you all of our secrets. You have to understand that, princess.
Once again, trying to figure out like a more concrete way that I could actually prove this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I could just have I could just go get Citus and be like, do something
do magic
impressive.
things. Yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose you could. I think it's more interesting if you don't.
Yeah.
One thing I was looking at here is you do have Ugly Truth that you're almost finished learning, and Ugly Truths are usually easier. Though I guess it would depend on how you framed whatever this is, right? Because I mean, you do know that the world is going to end if things keep progressing the way they are. It's just whether or not you can convince her of that.
Yeah, I don't know if that would be persuasive. Because, like, if she doesn't believe in the prophecies already, she's not going to believe me when I'm saying, "Look, I know the world is going to end." So
yeah, I mean, so if you're thinking of like what's a concrete way I can prove that this is true, I mean, it could pretty easily be some sort of doctrine or heraldry role to like know something from the Irida that you could like bring up to her, right? Like you were trying to do with her brother the other day.
yeah, so I just won't try that.
The average takes out a book, sets it down on the workbench. Let me show you.
Is the legend of Irida like pretty widely known, or is it just kind of a Sinian legend?
I would say most people have heard of it if they know anything about Sinia, but it's not. It is pretty like knowing details about it is pretty rare.
Yeah.
The fact that it like the name is like anyone who knows anything about Sinian history would at least know the name, but they may not know the significance.
What role would that be?
Yeah, good question. So your intent would be basically to do what? Like, obviously to prove to her that this is true, but like in what sense? Like a prophecy, like a prophecy about her.
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Like what I was trying to do with her brother, yeah.
Sure. Yeah, something that, because that's the thing, right? Like your dreams and the Irida stuff has been kind of crossing the streams recently, so you might be able to find something about that dream in the book, right?
Okay.
So let's have you roll. I think heraldry is the skill you've been rolling with this, right? Because the idea is like all these symbols and things that matter.
Right.
But you can fork in doctrine. And I'll give you an extra die.
Would it be possible to fork in falconry since she has a bird of her own, and there might be some.
Yeah, if you wanted it to be specifically about the bird, it except that would be more likely to be birdwise or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Like
Yeah.
animal husbandry and falconry are about doing the thing, not knowing about
Yeah.
birds necessarily. I will give you an extra die though, just for having had the dream, right? So yeah, I think it's just 2 dice extra.
Can't Forkin read?
Oh yes, sure, yeah.
Okay.
And then so I think the ob is going to be 3 for heraldry. Or actually, before you roll, let me check what the actual obs typically are for heraldry. Yeah, I think op 3 is a good one.
So my help is 3 and the ob is 3.
I think so. Yep.
Dang it.
Hey, 2 6s though.
Ooh, yeah.
1 or 2 fate for 2 or 3 dice.
We'll do 2.
Okay, so you can do your spend 2 and then reroll 3 dice. Remaining ob 1.
How do we do that?
At the very top, it has next to where your fate are listed. There's a little d6.
Right. Remaining ob what? Sorry.
1. And 3 dice. There you go. Cool. I don't know. Do you have an idea, or do you want me to make up something?
You make up something.
Because yeah, it would be some probably extrapolation on the dream that you had, or the scene that you saw in the dream, right?
Mhm.
So let's see. Okay, I think the thing that you that comes to your mind is the name of the material, which you didn't mention in the dream you had, but like you find a symbol that like reads in hieroglyphics or whatever, right? That it's basically the symbol that means the underworld, but like is literally translated black dust. And so you can basically like, put this down, glance at it for a second, and then like point at the case that she has, and then just say, black dust, huh? Or whatever, however you would frame it.
Yeah.
How would you term drop that?
Yeah, probably just that. I can't think of anything
Sure.
more ever that you do.
Yeah, and you probably put together a few things in your head too. Situs, when he was talking about the Brass League originally, when you guys were still in Nema, did mention that one of the reasons they were so respected is that they've like gone to Darkside before and come back to tell about it. That's one of the like crazy things they've done that's gotten them respected. And this material is probably from there. That's like they probably did an expedition to grab some of this and come back with it. So you can mention that if you want to as well, right? Like I also know where it's from. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Do you do so? You mention it.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I think her eyes widen, obviously, and she glances at you and then says, "Okay, well, I'm still not 100% on prophecies, but you're at least very good at guessing."
Just like it's not a guess. It's in this book that's been sitting in my family's castle for however long, decades, centuries.
Hundreds of years, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she kind of like bites her lip a little bit, and she says, So this proves to me that you know what you're talking about, but it doesn't prove to me that you're the right person to have this information, Avra. And this might be the point where you can make like an oratory roll to like give her the spiel, right? Like the spiel that Citus gave you, right? Or it's just like,
Yeah.
so the world is gonna end, and say it in like a dramatic enough fashion that it would be like an oratory roll.
Yeah.
Or you could frame it as a soothing platitudes. Those are your two options here. I'm not sure how that would work exactly, but you could make an argument for it if you had an idea.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
How do you think Avra would go about it, just in a general sense, and then we can figure out details from there?
I don't know. Just not very good at this stuff in general.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like her saying like, this is the situation and the world's gonna end, so this is why I need this information, is actually gonna persuade her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because she can just say, okay, well, I don't believe the world's gonna end because I don't believe in your prophecies.
No, but that's the thing, right? She is still trying to like dance around it, but you did successfully convince her that there's something to your visions. So that's the idea here. Is you've unlocked the door to that possibility. So a role like an oratory to convince her that this is true is now on the table because you've actually shown her proof of it. And you don't have to like give us a speech or anything. You can just say in general what she says.
Yeah. Then, yeah, she basically just says, lays out the situation. Like, my evil witch of a sister took over our town, took over our city, if you haven't heard. And basically all of the dead gods are trying to take over, and basically it's not looking good, not just for Sinia, but for everywhere else. And this information could be crucial to figuring out some way to stop it or stall it or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how yet, but I know that it's in this book, so it's important.
Okay, let's make the roll. Oratory, and I'm not
assuming
sure.
I can fork in heraldry for that.
It's kind of like the thing that's making the roll possible, right? It's not necessarily giving it more help. This lady isn't a noble. Yeah, I think it might just be flat oratory roll.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. All right, cool. So her will is 4, so ob 4. Just hope for 6s, I guess.
Ugh.
Whoa, hey. Okay, well, you don't have any 6s, but you can spend 1 fate to reroll that 1 failed dice. 50-50 chance. I'll mark difficult on your oratory there.
What's the remaining of?
1.
And 1 die?
Yep.
Oh.
Yikes. So close, and yet so far. Poor Avra.
Avra has just not been lucky this season.
No, she really hasn't. So I think we're going to fail forward here, right? This isn't her just like continuing to stonewall you. I think she barks an order to Zim in the language of birds, which you do understand, and basically says, no, she doesn't do that. She seems like she's listening to you, right? She's nodding along, and she starts to like pace as you talk to her, thinking, scratching your chin, and then she ends like kind of in front of the door. And when you finish, she nods. She says, "You know, Avra, I think I believe you. I believe that you know what you're talking about, at least, and that you, and that you want to do what you say. The problem is you're jeopardizing what we're doing here." Then she slams the door closed, stands in front of it. She looks at you and she says, "And that's a real problem because we're on the cusp of something great. Relic making has never been this powerful. With this stuff, we can do whatever we want. And something tells me that you won't want that. Because you mentioned something about the dead gods, and I know that the Sinians have this idea that the gods are dying, and they're going to the dark side of the planet and all that stuff, but, or, you know, she wouldn't say that. She would say Tartuit, like the actual proper name for it. But I don't believe in that junk. I do believe that you're a threat to what I'm doing. And unless I have assurance that you're not going to get in my way, I don't know if you can leave this room."
Lovely.
How about you sit down, princess? Let's have a chat.
I really want to punch her. Hate her so much.
You could have bonded over birds, but the dice said no.
Just the fact that she keeps calling me princess in
I know.
clearly like derogatory way.
Uh-huh. She's saying it like Han Solo would say it.
Yeah. Yep.
So what do? Do you sit down? Do you?
I don't know what to do. Because I
you kind of went on your own and did this, right? Without telling Caledon or Citus, and
well, I mean, I kind of imagine that I probably told Citus, like, I had a vision and I'm gonna go see about it or something. But
I didn't assume that you did, and you didn't say you did. And
I'm just
like
saying, I don't think I would have just randomly gone. Like, I would have at least told one of them, like, I'm gonna go poke around and see if I can find this place. Like, they obviously wouldn't know exactly where I was, but
let's say you told Caledon that, and let's say Citus was like not up or wasn't around when you did this, because you describing the vision to him would have like changed a lot of things. So let's say it makes sense for Ivor to tell someone, but let's say for narrative purposes, just so we don't have to retcon anything, you told Caledon and not Citus. So at least Caledon knows that, like, if you go missing or whatever, like, he knows like where to look for you. But so yeah, do you like just start? Because he basically said, "Sit down, let's have a chat. Like, I need to make sure that you're not going to be getting in my way. Like, and you have to prove that to me. Otherwise, I'm not letting you leave this room." Right? Is the idea.
Thing is, I don't think Ivor would lie. Like,
yeah,
she'd be like, "Oh, okay, so you're a villain."
Right. Yeah.
But I do want to get her out of this situation. But yeah.
I mean, hey, you do have a new bird.
Yeah.
You could try to have the bird attack her face and then just make a break for it.
But she also has a bird.
It's
so
true.
That scares me.
But she has a bird, but she has like a cute little owl.
Oh, I wasn't imagining a cute little owl. I was imagining a big owl.
No. So I described it as like a baby owl.
Oh.
I'll find the picture and
Oh yeah, you just showed me this picture.
yeah, it's supposed
Creepy
to be
little
cute.
owl. God, it's creepy.
I thought it was cute. Let me find this. Here we go. Boop. Cute little baby owl.
Creepy.
Yeah, so it's not big enough to take on Balthazar. She probably wouldn't send it against you.
Okay.
So yeah, it's certainly an option that Avro would consider as a possibility.
Yeah, I also don't know like how like I imagine like even if she's not a mercenary herself, like she's living amongst mercenaries in a fortress. She probably has way better like combat abilities than Avra does.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just scared. And I think Avra would be too. I don't know if Avra would actually attempt anything physical because she's just extremely intimidated.
Yeah, I mean, you can just talk to her then instead. For now.
Yeah, but I don't think that's gonna get me anywhere either.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're probably like standing there like awkwardly like, oh crap, like looking at around like for what to do. And I think she says, listen, Avra, this can end really easily. You can just assure me that you're going to leave right now, grab your friends, abandon this whole venture, walk out the door. Go back to Nema. Go back to Sinia. I don't care what you do. But you're not staying here. Not with what you know. Not with what you could do.
Did she like lock the door?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Is there like a window?
Make roll a d6. Just like type in /r 1d6. On a 1, there is a window.
Lovely.
No, there's no window. I wasn't imagining a window, so yeah.
I don't know, I'm scared. I'm so scared.
That's fair. So looking at your character sheet, right? You could try. I mean, hey, Avra, you have a skill for this. It's called soothing platitudes. Right? It's literally the skill to calm down irate people.
Yeah, but I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
Avra's just not really the type to like match this level of like condescension.
Mm.
So I'm like trying to think of like anything she would say that would make it seem like she's not as intimidated as she is. But I can't think of anything.
I mean, that doesn't sound like the approach you have to take. Like, soothing platitudes can literally just be like, whoa, 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 let's all calm down. Like, there's no
but that's still like Avra acting like she's more in control of the situation than she is.
That's fair. Do you want to just make a steel test then? If you can't decide how Avra would react to see whether or not has the presence of mind.
Yeah, because I feel like this probably brings up memories of like her confrontation with Ophelia too.
Yeah.
So it might literally be traumatizing a little bit, even though it's not as extreme of a situation.
Cool. Yeah, go ahead and roll steel test. The ob is going to be 5 because that's your hesitation. It is automatically open-ended, so all the 6s will re-roll by themselves. So even though you have a 4 in steel, they're still like possible. It's still possible to get 5, but it'll be hard.
What did you say the odd was?
5. Yep. Mark that challenging test. So yeah, you hesitate for 3 heartbeats. What do you do with that 3 heartbeats? Do you stand and drool, run screaming, fall prone and beg for mercy, swoon?
I think swoon in the sense that she'd probably just like pass out.
Like you actually pass out?
I mean, maybe not exactly, like not completely go unconscious, but just like not be able to respond.
Like get dizzy and fall down?
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I think she does then probably? She probably just like grabs some manacles, puts them on you while you're in your moment of weakness and has you like tied to a chair, right? Or something, right? And she's like, well, it was, and after you gain your composure, she's like, wow, that was really easy. I guess noble women have a frail constitutions and frail minds. And she's like,
I really want to punch her.
Yeah, and she's leaning closely to you. Balthazar doesn't do anything because he's new to being your bird, so he like, took off as you've like started to faint and like flapped around a little bit and then landed on like something like in the far corner of the room, and he's like nervously just like perching there, like
and
looking
the
around.
Sucky thing about this too is like I can't talk to him secretively because she would understand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so she just says, I think we're going to keep you down here for a little while. At least until I can make sure that your friends are going to leave. This is dangerous, Havra. You can't know any of this. Honestly, I should just have my brother kill you at this point, but I don't think that would be wise for anyone. Certainly don't want that blood on my hands. Do you have anything to say?
I don't know. Like I want her to like be snarky back and everything, but she has so little power in the situation now that like it would just mean nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think if you're fine with it, I think she just like leaves you there for a while. Yeah, I think she just says, I'll be back. You and your friend here, well, hang out and regain your health, and we'll chat in a little bit. And then she walks away. And I think we follow her, and she, goes up to where Citus and Caledon are like talking to her brother. Takes him aside for a moment, like whispers in his ear, like updates him on everything that's happening. And Beirut, the brother, steps back over to Caledon and Citus and then says, I'm sorry, I think negotiations are going to have to end here because your princess happened to be snooping around places that she shouldn't. And, well, we just don't take kindly to that sort of meddling around here. I don't think I can trust you anymore. And Caledon frowns and she was just going to talk to you, and like points to the sister. And the sister looks at Caledon and says, well, she did a lot more than talk, but doesn't elaborate. And Caledon frowns like, what do you mean? Like, and Citus is frowning now too, and takes a step forward and is like, Beirut, I think we can talk this through. There's no need to... And Beirut raises a hand. No, we are done. You will take your princess and leave immediately. And Citus just like grits his teeth And I'm gonna figure out like if he can make a roll of some sort to figure out what's going on. Because the moment Situs figures out what's going on, magic sword's coming out and there's gonna be some hell to pay, but right? It's just like whether or not he can actually get there. Let's see here. What does he have to work with? He does have the strain of Farsight. Perfect. That's what he's gonna do. What are the odds on this? So he's gonna use some magical vision. I think it's going to be an Ob 8 strain of Farsight test. Don't think he has any. It's like one fork on this. But it is gratiated and it is open-ended. So we'll see how it goes. Hey, right on the money. Nice job, Situs. So we see his eyes like glow blue for a moment, and he like gets a really serious expression on his face and like slowly turns to Beirut and Arisha, and he looks at them and he says, "Do you have any idea the gravity of the mistake you've made?" And they both look like really intimidated for a moment. They're like, what? And he like holds up his like gloved hand, and then magic sword materializes in it. And he says, "You're working with them. You're working for them, though you don't realize it. You have made a horrible mistake." And that's when Beirut like gives an order. He like signals with his hand, and Arisha's like slowly backing away. And then she calls out and says, bring it now. And stepping into the room, this is like kind of like a large open chamber. Something very massive takes a step.
Lovely.
And from like the large archway, we see a giant, like what looks like a big like golem of some sort. So it looks, let me see if I can find this picture again here. Yeah, where is it? Here we go. So it looks like this.
Fun.
It looks like it maybe at one point was made out of more jagged, like a more jagged version of that black stone, but it's since been like chipped away and carved very carefully. And it's like it like in the picture, right? It has like a handler, like a mercenary or something that's like leading it forward. And it's almost like the cave troll scene in Fellowship of the Ring, where like the thing like comes forward and then like, you know, being led by this thing and appears at the threshold and then turns its rocky head towards Situs. And Situs, like, he just says, "Heavens above, Caledon, run!" And then we just see like
cave troll.
Yeah, exactly. And we just see Situs like to jump into action and be a superhero, right? And then I think we just see Caledon run, and we hear the battle happening like above, right? But he like descends the staircase trying to like find the place like that you described to him. And he doesn't know where, like, because you hadn't found it yet when you went searching for it. So I'm gonna have him make a roll to see if he can find you. Let's take a look here. I think it'll probably be the same circles roll that you made. Fails pitifully. Yeah, so Kelodon is running around randomly. And I mean, he doesn't find you at the very least. Let's cut back over to you, Avra. You hear like the ground shake or the walls shake, right? What do? Like, you know something's going down. Zim went with
Yeah.
what's her face, by the way? Yeah.
Yeah, she probably is like Balthazar, go see what that is.
And he flaps over, lands on the chair that you're tied to, and then like looks down and is like, the door is locked. I don't have hands.
Right. I don't think I have any skills for this, but could I like look around to see if there's anything I can like pick at the manacles with?
Yeah. I mean, there are a couple options that I see for doing something like this. Either you can, try to find something to like pick a lock with. I think there's plenty. You're in her workshop. Like, I don't think it's gonna be that hard. The issue will be getting to it, not like having it. But then you could also just try to make an escape artist check to just like, dislocate your wrists and whatever, and try to like slip out of the manacles. Or you could get Balthazar to try to do something with them. I mean, at the very least, it probably wouldn't be super difficult to get Balthazar to give you something to try to pick the lock with.
Yeah. What role would that be? Would that just be falconry to?
Yeah. Let's make a falconry. It's not gonna be like super difficult, but there is like still the question of whether or not like he's your real companion, right?
Right.
So let's make that roll. Falconry, let's say ob 2. That you can fork in animal husbandry and hunting.
Yay.
Nice. Yep. So Balthazar flaps over, grabs like some sort of like relic making tool that you probably use to pickpocket this thing. The issue is now you're gonna have to make like an untrained picklocking check, which maybe you'll succeed, but we'll see. Let me see here. This is a skill we've rolled like exactly one time besides now and all of the Burning Wheel campaigns I've done. Oh, it's lockpick, not pick locks. Of course. Here we go. Yeah, I think it's gonna be an ob 1 lockpick check. It'll open end, or not open end, it'll double the 2 obviously automatically. But let's go ahead and add that into your sheet. I mean, it's like just like whatever pair of manacles you happen to have on hand for whatever reason. So it's not like a super difficult lock or anything. So it's based on perception and agility, which means you'll have 4 dice to work with. So still up in the air whether or not you'll be able to succeed because it will double it 2. But yeah, go ahead and roll that. I put it in there at being learned. Ob 1. Hey, nice. You can mark a bubble towards learning that. Not like you'll ever roll out again, but Cool. Yeah. So Avra manages to. I honestly was not expecting this to work. Yeah. So you manage to snap the locks open, and you're rubbing at your wrists as you stand up from the chair. Because you probably just like put the manacles on you in such a way that like the way the chair was built was blocking you being able to get your arms free. So as soon as the manacles fall loose, you can just like move your hands. But yeah, the door is still locked, so you can go over to it. There's not a key anywhere nearby you can see. But you are in her workshop, so if you did want to look around for anything else to grab, now would be the time. At the very least, you do see the amulet still there.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'd grab that.
Okay, yeah. You grab the amulet. Do you want to make a steal test for me when you grab it?
Oh, lovely. Sure.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, same thing. Ob 5. Actually, I think it'll be Ob 6 because it's like magical thing happening here. But again, it's open ended automatically, so there's always a chance with steal. I mean, we saw what Josh could do with open-ended faith. Oh yeah, that's a bummer. So you grab it, Avra, and all of a sudden you see 2 burning eyes, and some stony face just boring into your soul, and this thing, says to you, "You are not Arisha. Who holds this amulet?" And you failed the steal test, so like, I feel like you're compelled to do. You either like, I'm not gonna. You don't have to like reveal yourself necessarily because you failed the steal test, but like at the very least, you don't have the presence of mind to drop the thing. I guess you choose. How do you fail the steal test according to the normal rules? Like, do you stand drool? Do you run screaming? Do you swoon again? Do you fall prone and beg for mercy? Falling prone and begging for mercy in this instance would be like acquiescing to his questions. But yeah, you just feel like an oppressive mind, like weighing upon you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think she just says, just kind of the rote response of like what she's used to saying when like she introduces herself is like Avra, daughter of Thestios, basically.
Yeah, okay. So the thing says, "Interesting. Then your mind is valuable. Quite fortunate that it is open to me." And you feel like a stretching sensation, and suddenly, like you feel like all the stuff you've learned from the Irida and like that Citus has told you, like not leak away in a sense that you lose it, but like get this thing now knows it as well.
Oh.
And then we just see you like scream and drop the amulet, and you're just like staring at it. What do you do?
I mean, if there's like some kind of hammer nearby, I feel like her first instinct would be to try to destroy it.
Just try to destroy it? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's...
Might make it worse, but it
Yeah.
might make it better. Who knows?
So, Avra, go ahead and make an untrained hammer check, I guess. I think that's based on power. No, it's based on agility. Okay. Strange. Guess it's all on the wrist. All right, I'm adding hammer. Let's see. The ob to break this thing is Let's see. I think I want to make it possible, but like very difficult. So we're gonna make it an op 3. It'll double to 6, but technically with like some real luck, you could technically do it.
Nope.
Yep. Once again, very bad. So we can mark that difficult on your agility, though. I'll go ahead and do that. So you slam the hammer on it, and the hammer breaks, right? And you just know, like, okay, I'm not gonna be able to do this. You do get the sense, though, that like if like the amulet doesn't seem as oppressive before, you feel like if you picked it up, you could do it without it like attacking your mind again. At the very least, you could just like use your sleeve or something to not like touch it with your skin and like put it in a pocket or something, right?
Yeah, should probably do that.
Yeah, that makes sense, right? Because I don't think you would want to leave it here, but you obviously don't want to.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you do that, and then Balthasar just like is flapping his wings, and like it lands on your shoulder, and just like, what was that? What was that?
Nothing pleasant.
Are we going to leave?
If we can find a way out, yes.
Yeah. So the door is still locked, right? So you'll have to try to pick lock again if you want to get out.
Yeah, I might as well try that first at least.
Okay, so Avra, go ahead and do another pick lock or lockpick roll with, I think there'll be ob 2 this time.
Nope.
Oof, that was a bad roll. So I think what this means basically is just there's like a bunch of time that goes by. Not only that you're stuck in the room, unless you want to like try to break it down, I guess. Yeah. So time passes. You're like frustratingly doing this. The tool that you have breaks, right? And you're like, oh dang it, like I can't do this. And like it probably breaks in the lock. So like you even if you found another tool, like you can't pick the lock anymore. Do you try to like break down the door or what? Caledon is still like looking for you, but he hasn't found you yet.
Right. Yeah. My thought is like she'd at least start banging on the door in hopes that Caledon or Situs would find her.
Yeah. That's a conspicuous test. Right? Try to get him to notice
you. I'm just scared that anyone else is gonna find her.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and add that to your sheet. So conspicuous. I think this would be an ob 2 conspicuous test.
Yay!
Whoa, all successes. Nice job. Very, very nice. Cool. Yeah, so not only do you successfully like get someone to notice, you get Caledon specifically to notice, right? You're pounding on the door, and then Caledon gets there, and he's like, Avra, I'm here. I think, just jostling with the door. He's like, I can't. All right, stand back. And I mean, I guess I'm going to try to get him to break down the door. He's a nobleman, so we'll see how well this goes. But let's see. He's not necessarily weakly or sickly, but right. I think it's going to be an ob 2, which he does not succeed on, but he has a fate, so I'll roll 1 there to real. Whoa, bunch of 6s. Very good. Yep, so the first kick doesn't do anything, and you hear him just like, ow, on the other side, and then he's like, all right, you got this, Caledon, and then he like rams the door with like his shoulder, right, and then it breaks down and slams down. And he says, all right, we need to get out of here now. Situs is fighting something up there. I think I don't really know exactly what's happening, but he said they're working with them. I don't really know what he means, but I think we need to leave now.
Yeah, she just like takes his arm and starts running out of the room.
Nice. Yeah, so you guys rush out. I think so. Here, this is the roll I need to make now. I need to see if Citus wins the fight with this thing, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and roll this. So he got 6 successes. We will now roll for the thing he's fighting. Oh yeah, he totally beats it. Very good. So you guys probably you're rushing out and you run past the chamber where the fight was originally happening. You didn't realize this was that chamber because the noise has moved on to some other chamber. So maybe there's multiple of these things. But as you glance into the room, you see the body of this golem thing cut into multiple pieces as if the sword was cutting through butter, right? So it's just in chunks, it's just cleanly sliced through. And there's a couple of dead mercenaries in the room too, but there's apparently he's fighting a different one of them or something in some other part of the castle at this point because the noise is still happening in some other wing. And you guys get to the entrance, and I think there are probably there must be someone who tries to stop you by the time you can't they're obviously focusing on Citus because he's such a danger, but there would be probably at least someone who would block your way before you actually get out. I'm just trying to think if it would be Arisha or a couple of random soldiers. The thing about a couple of random soldiers is that neither of you have fighting skills. So let's say it's Arisha, right? Let's say Arisha blocks your exit just before you get to the double doors that lead out of the place. And she's there with some sort of magical artifact of some sort. I'm trying to think of what it could be. Let me look at the list of magic items they have here. If I can find it. But she's whatever it is, she's trying to point it at you, and stop you from leaving. Here we go, 375. Let's see. That's kind of cool. Yeah, here, let's do this one. She has a big iron rod in her hand. She's kind of holding out like a baton. She says, she's breathing heavily. I can't let you leave, Abra. You have it, don't you? Kellan looks at you.
Want to do.
You do have a bird.
Yeah, but I don't know what her magic thing does, and I don't want her to immediately die.
Yeah, that's fair.
I have to find a whole new bird. It's so traumatizing for it to happen a second time. don't know. I don't know what to do. I can't hear you.
One strategy is just to stall long enough that Citus can get to you guys, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the last thing she did is she asked you, like, do you have it? Or you have it, don't you?
Yeah, I'm gonna ignore that question.
Fair enough. I mean, I guess Caledon probably like raises a hand. You're trying to ward her off, like in a like disarming way. Like he's like, listen, we can talk this out. Nobody has to get hurt. Not anymore. You saw what he did, didn't you? Well, then you know that he can't be stopped. We're going to leave. All right? And I guess I'll make a roll for him. Like he has persuasion skills and things. But if he fails, then you might have to do something with your bird or something. Let's see. What's her will for? I think she has beliefs against this, though, so we'll do 6. All right, he got 2 6s, so here we go. Here's some fate being rolled. Hey, nice. So Arisha like bites her lips, listens, looks past you guys and listening to like the horrible sounds of battle happening from somewhere in the fortress. And she starts like sobbing a little bit. She's like, "You ruined everything, Abra. You ruined everything I was doing here. You were gonna do things, great things." And then she just like, and then runs past you guys.
Oh, I think Abra. I mean, they like keep going after she goes past them, but I think she just kind of starts to laugh a little bit, and she's like, "That was so pathetic." Like after all the bravado when she had me in manacles, and then
Yeah. Yep. And then you guys run off into the outside the fortress and leave. And I think like just to close, we'll cut forward just a little bit in time, and you guys are like off, in a crevice somewhere hiding right in the mountains here, and Citus comes back, right? You see him come around the corner and he's huffing and he has like giant, like big gaping wounds and stuff, and he's like, are you two okay?
yeah, Abra is like, she starts to pull the amulet out of her pocket and is like, well, something spoke to me through this and took a bunch of stuff out of my mind, but other than that, I'm fine.
He sighs and like looks downward, kind of like almost in defeat. He says, "This is really bad. This is really, really bad." He looks up and he's like, "I'm sorry, Abra, I have to leave you. You're gonna have to figure out the rest on your own. You and Caledon. Go back to Nema. I don't know, try to find some mercenary group that will help. I don't know what to do anymore. But I can't be here. I have to go. I have to go there. I have to stop them. They're coming. They figured it out. They figured out a way to beat it. To stop the sun. I don't know. It's gonna be bad, Avra." And like it's part of it's like not making any sense to you. Like you're like, I don't know what you're talking about, right?
Yeah, she just kind of confusedly holds out the amulet and is like, Can you take this? Would this help? I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah. He looks at it and he's like, set it down on the ground. Carefully.
Yeah, she does so.
And he looks at it for a moment and then grabs like a pouch or something from like a satchel that he has and scoops it up into it, ties the knots, puts it back in his satchel. He's like, I'll look at it when I have the time. For now, I have to go. I have to go to the gates of black dust and stop what's going to happen. Good luck, Avra. I still believe that you can do this. I'm sorry that I can't help you anymore. Something much more dangerous is about to happen, and I have to be there to stop it. And then if you don't say anything, he just turns and starts singing a song, and then suddenly, like, a kind of warped, like, space sort of warps in front of him, and he just walks forward and disappears. And I think the very last thing we see is we see him appear in like what looks to be the start of like a black wasteland full of like black sand. And he's standing there and he looks around and like the sun is so far behind him that it's almost completely gone, like from vision, right? He's almost to the actual dark side of the planet. He's right on the edge. And he sees ahead, and he sees the white dwarf, like the smaller star, like up ahead in the sky, the only illumination that's like illuminating what's he's seen before him. And it's literally like a black wasteland. There's maybe some like weird kind of like tar pit looking things here and there, but like it's just like devastated, like black sand and nothing else. And he stands there, looks around for a little bit, seems to notice or hear something, summons his sword again. And he still seems like incredibly tired and wounded. Mm-hmm. But then we see some of the earth, some of the like black sand start to shift. And then jagged, like versions of that golem, but like as if they're coming from like the stone of this landscape itself without being like meticulously carved, just start erupting from the earth and slowly marching forth. And he's just standing there alone with a sword, and that's where we cut. And that is our session of Death and Madness. So yeah, bad things are happening. Situs will probably, if he survives, he'll fill you in eventually. But, and honestly, that really just happened because Avra failed the roll. Like,
yeah,
it was. Yeah. It was always like they were messing with stuff they shouldn't have been messing with, but there may have been a way to like figure out what they were doing without it being such an immediate threat, like seeming like an immediate threat to them, and like talk through and like show them that this was a bad thing they were doing, but just didn't end up happening that way. So we'll have to see.
And we still gotta find an army.
But luckily, Alpheus will be there in Nemo when you get there. So. And you can meet up with him at least. Yep, it's true. Okay, cool. So let's do Artha and call it a session. Alpheus, what's your beliefs and stuff?
Feel terrible for getting Ben kidnapped, and I'll do everything I can to keep him safe. I feel like I did that today.
You did everything I can to keep him safe and return him to his mother and father and establish him as king.
Well, I'm doing it the way I think it should be.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, so I'll give you. I mean, I guess it's still being in process, but you can at least get a fate for it, right? You've been doing it.
I think I conquered belief too. We need military help, therefore I will convince General Spirit to help
we
us.
Should have rewritten that for this session. Yeah,
that's all right. I came late.
I was gonna say, yeah, neither of your other two beliefs are really relevant at this point. So we should.
I still want to kill Titan.
Well, yes, but like you won't have an opportunity to do that anytime soon, so it's probably best to fill it with something else for now. But to be honest, I mean that's basically the only thing you did this time, right?
Yeah, that's all I did today.
So I think just one fate for that, and then you can figure out beliefs for next time. I'll give you a fate for always try to talk my way out of trouble. Right, that was fun to see.
Yeah, I'm gonna erase my second one and change it if that's okay.
Oh, the instinct.
Am I allowed to do that? Because I never even deal with people in.
Well, I was
I don't-
literally just going to say, I was going to give you a fate point for that too, because
Oh.
Knossos. I always treat
Oh,
others
yeah,
with lower
that's
class
true.
with respect, right? That's exactly what you did.
Yeah,
You can change it if you want to, but at
I
least
just
this
haven't been.
session.
I forgot about it.
Yeah.
I forgot that was like a thing.
Yeah,
No,
you can
I'll
change.
leave it.
Okay. And then let's see if there's anything else for you. Did we have an in-game humor moment with Alpheus this time?
Not really.
Chad's typically funny, but I don't think I remember like a in-character moment that like stood out necessarily. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I think probably those 3 fate points are probably what you got this time. This was an Avra intensive session, which I intended it for it to be because we haven't gotten a lot of Avra stuff lately. All right, cool. Maya.
I think I just worked on my third belief. I will gain more followers for Hagel. I tried.
You did indeed try, so fate point there.
Excellent.
Yeah, it makes sense that we didn't do a whole lot with Maya, given that Joser and Maya's stories are pretty tightly wound at this point. So let's see. Yeah, I think that's probably the only thing you got. And then Avra.
Hey, I have a question.
Yeah.
So I have a trait called Catalyst,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
and I feel
always forget
like
about that.
I got. Did I get a persona for like pitting Titan against Spiridon?
Yeah, did we not give you that last time?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's
I
true,
wasn't
because you were
there.
gone. Do you remember if we did that?
I
last
don't
time?
think so.
Okay,
Not
I think you
recall.
should get it though. So you get
Okay.
get a persona. Go for it.
Thanks. Sorry for interrupting.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
Okay, so Avra, let's see. You'll gain information about her doings through her bird. You did it. Persona point. You're assisting Celadon with his work in Nema. You tried. Fate point. And you are working on your like bird companion stuff. So fate point there. We should probably like change the second part of that belief to be more specifically like I will win over Balthazar or something, right? Because you've technically quote unquote find a new companion, but you need to like ensure that he'll actually be the right one.
The laptop died, so can you mark those for me?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. So fate and persona so far, and then if I have a task beyond my specialty, then I seek the advice of someone more competent. If I have a question, then I'll consult answers from the Irida. If I meet a bird, then I'll seek to determine its character. You didn't do that. You didn't even talk to Zim, but I guess you thought he was creepy, so.
Well, I mainly just was intimidated by her, and so I didn't want to like talking to her bird instead of her seemed rude.
Fair enough. Let's see. Anything else from your traits? I'll give you a fate point for a dreamer because like it got you into trouble, all things considered, at the end of the day. But other than that, I think. Well, actually, let's look at the extra Artha stuff. Let's see, humor. Right skill, right time. I'll give you right skill, right time again, right? Like you having the heraldry stuff and whatnot has been very relevant. But other than that, I think it's just those 2 fate points in the persona. All right, cool stuff. Well, we'll figure out when we're doing it next, but for now, that is it for Death Unto Madness. Thanks for playing, guys. That was a lot of fun. Adios.